What's up, you guys? And welcome to the second ever episode of Desire of Wrestling. And I'm here joined by.
Wee! I mean, woo! The stage man is back. Oh man, I had a shitload of things to drink, man. Vodka, liquor, and all that good stuff.
Is it vodka
Yeah.
liquor? Okay.
What? I'm just that damn drunk.
Dude, I was
Okay.
thinking
What do you
about
think?
I also, I just had a glass of water and H2O, by the way.
I don't like your common
Yeah,
sense.
I just had a glass of
Accidentally.
milk and some calcium. I had milk and some calcium myself, yeah.
Adam, you're trying to be funny. This does not work for you.
All right, I'm sorry. God bless Canada. Anyways.
What is that supposed to mean? God damn it, I'm a drunk man.
What?
Anyways, just plug your shit.
Plug your shit.
And the hilarious part is college.
You should subscribe to the Wrestling Express, where me and this shithead Weston, we do a bunch of shit there. Yeah, some shit.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you introduce Weston, so Weston doesn't have to introduce himself. Adam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
exa-
champion. That's the way it goes. Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
This is Team Diff.
Mhm.
Hello. You can subscribe to my channel, which is called Team Diff. You can also catch me on a bunch of variety vendor videos, variety views. You can catch me on I Was Never a Fan of, which is another show on the Variety Vendor channel. And you can also catch me on Twitter at The Working Heel. And
All right, okay, I'll have the
what else?
links in the description box. Okay. So let's
Yeah,
do
yeah,
the
yeah.
show.
I'm sorry.
bunch of
I'm sorry. I'm
shit.
sorry. I'm sorry. Did he said variety vending machine? Where's that?
I love variety.
By the way, you have the fucking charisma of a vacuum, dude. I fell asleep during that.
Hey, Terrence,
Okay.
Terrence, you're trying to be
Okay.
funny. It doesn't work for you.
It does work for me. Of course, you're laughing.
All right, Weston.
I'm laughing at you, not with you.
Introduce yourself and your, everything, whatever.
My name is Wrestling with Reality. I am.
No, it's not.
Really? What does my name say? You want to read it?
It's called West. Your name is Weston.
Yeah,
No last
Weston,
name.
AKA Wrestling with Reality. And you can also.
Does that say in your, does that say in your birth? Does that say in your health card or your birth certificate or anything like that? No.
Okay.
God. Okay, now this time I'm not laughing.
Subscribe to the Wrestling Express. There we go. Sorry,
All
Terry.
right, cool. I'll have everything in the description box. Of course, if you've watched the previous episode, and if you haven't, why the fuck are you watching the second episode? Go ahead and watch that first episode, you fuckers. Weston won that championship, and he was the inaugural, champion. And
Inaugural.
inaugural, yeah, that's what I said.
Okay. No,
I'm the
you
judge,
said
damn it.
not. Never mind.
Terrence, you gotta unmute yourself.
I can fuck up words if I want to. I'm the judge. No one's judging me.
20
Anyways.
points from Gryffindor.
Terrence, you gotta unmute yourself. I don't think you realize you were muted, but yeah.
Okay, so let's get right to the questions right now. Okay, we got a few questions that I think will involve a lot of creativity, and I think it's not about like what I
Yeah.
think. It's what's it. Jeez, I lost my train of thought. I'm the greatest host of all time. It's mostly about how you guys would sell me on the idea
Ed?
of your answers. What?
Ed?
Ah,
Hey. I got a message for this first champion over there, Weston, whatever his last name is.
You
This,
were interrupting my introduction. I was respectful. I didn't interrupt you, even though I'm champion.
first, this is coming from the guy who what was it, the last episode when Ed was talking about who is the greater big man, and you chose Vader, and all of a sudden he's like he had great matches with people.
What? You picked Vader for greatest big man? Are you
It
on
was either
drugs?
Oh, yeah,
it was
I
no, it
forgot-
was
I
either
forgot what the
Vader.
other option.
It was either Vader or Kevin Nash, and he chose Vader by accident,
Oh.
and then he was like,
I was gonna say Kevin Nash, but anyway, I chose. Anyway, yeah,
Okay.
that's in the past when I still
"This guy
won.
said,
So what now?
this guy said
Vader-
he had great
Vader
matches
did
with
have-
people."
Vader did have one good match with Shawn Michaels, but that was about it.
I know, but his answer was just basically, he was a big man and he had great matches with people. Yeah.
Mhm.
Ah.
Just like match with the people, like not even wrestlers. It's like okay.
But anyways, Ed, continue, man.
Anyways,
Who muted me, by the way?
Nobody. Let's just move on.
F you. Anyways, continue.
Okay, so the first question. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. The first question is, what is the biggest botch in wrestling? And by that I mean the one thing, the one mishap that really fucked a guy's momentum. Whether it's a new gimmick or a new character or even a wrestler's career. So, Terrence, you're up first.
Oh, the biggest botch in history is when he had Psycho Sid. He had Psycho Sid jumping from the second rope and twisted his leg. I don't know.
What the fuck? Anybody
Oh
get
my
that? Well,
Well,
Kevin thinks
come
it was
on, West.
so that should win right there.
Okay,
Come on, that was the biggest botch in history, man. How the hell do you jump from the second rope and then your leg just snap, crackle, and pop? That shit, man. It was just, oh my god.
Does it have to
to-
be? Can it be
Okay.
WWE and TNA, or does it have to be WWE?
it can be anything. It doesn't have to be just like WWE. It can be like, WCW, TNA, ECW, whatever.
I'm the
Okay.
champion, so I go last. So Adam, you go.
Yeah, Terrence just said Sid from, I believe, Sin 2001. WCW, where he snapped his leg. Okay. Adam, what's the biggest botch in wrestling?
For me, the biggest botch. Shut up, Terrence. For me, the biggest botch in wrestling that completely screwed a guy's career was the Shockmaster, because he had Fred Ottman. Shut up, Terrence. They had Fred Ottman come out with like this stormtrooper helmet covered in glitter, and Fred Ottman, who was formerly Tugboat, aka Typhoon, and he had a stormtrooper helmet covered in glitter, and he was supposed to come through the wall, and he was supposed to be Sting's partner at I think it was Flair for the Gold.
It was War Games.
War Games, right. It was after. That's right. It was after Flair for the Gold. Come out at War Games, and he burst through the wall, and they didn't know, or he didn't know, that they put a 2x4, or as Dusty says, a 2x4, right there, right before he was going to come out, and he tripped over the 2x4, and his helmet came off, and everyone started laughing, and you hear Sid go, "Oh God," and Davey goes, "He fell it right on his ass. He fell on his fucking ass." And after that, they couldn't do Master besides have him come out and fall every single time. That didn't work.
Mhm.
It worked a couple of times. They did it a couple of times where, his gimmick was he came out and he fell. But this big, intimidating guy, Ole Anderson was in the back doing the voice, and it was Fred Ottman who played him. And to me, that's the biggest botch in wrestling history, because after that, there was nothing that they could do with that character.
Right. Then he became like a comedy character as Super Shockmaster.
Yeah.
So Okay. And now the champion. What is the biggest botch in wrestling?
You know what? I'm gonna go with a TNA botch. I was in between three, but I'll go with the TNA botch because it could have changed the way their businesses look like forever. So
Sure.
they spent like I think a good few months hyping this guy up, hyping him up, talking about a big guy is about to come to TNA. You know, they had a big signing, so you're wondering who the fuck it is. And then right when it's time for him to debut, he comes out and we find out it was Tito Ortiz, which got no reaction whatsoever. Like you could literally see, like on one of the screenshots where like there's a kid who's like, "Dad, who the fuck is this guy?" And his dad's like, "Well, son, this is Tito Ortiz. He's an MMA fighter, and I have no idea why he's here." And I mean, he just got zero reaction. So I would say that's the biggest botch in wrestling history, because that's pretty much when TNA started to become a joke.
I remember that it was the summer warning, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. It was I think in 2013, something like that. And then he had the face off with what's his name? It was another MMA guy that came in.
Is it
King
Rampage?
Rampage Jackson, I think.
He
Yeah.
Yeah.
he got less of a reaction than Brian Christopher when Michael Cole brought Brian Christopher out to confront Jerry Lawler.
Mhm.
It was that bad.
Okay, guys, fight it out. Terrence, why do you think your botch is way worse than the others?
Because everybody knows about that botch. Who the hell cares about Tito Ortiz? You know, the Shockmaster, it was a big botch, but it was a shameful botch. This botch right here, it was not only gruesome, but kind of hilarious. That is all.
I mean, doesn't that make mine a bigger botch than yours? Because nobody really cared about it. Because I guess it kind of just helped me right there.
How can anyone call that a botch? How can anyone really known as can be called as the biggest botch ever if nobody really cared or know about it? Ah,
A lot of people did care though. I remember everyone was talking about it, and then like they found it was Tito Ortiz. Were like, "What the fuck is this?"
but then you just agree with me saying that if it doesn't care, if people don't really care, then that wouldn't that make it the biggest botch?
People cared though. People did
But
care.
you said but you said that wouldn't it be the biggest botch ever if people didn't care? Which you're kind of implying that, you know, it's kind of contradiction there.
He's kind of got a point there, Terrence.
Yeah, you kind of helped me out. Like, okay, you're
All I'm saying
destroyed,
is
Nick.
Sid jumping from the second rope and breaking breaking his leg. Come on, that's an iconic moment in wrestling history. People
When you said
remember
that was
that.
the biggest botch, yeah, that was the biggest like what the fuck botch as far as like injuries, but it wasn't like a
I'm
big
surprised.
botch.
I'm surprised nobody picked Owen Hart.
Wow, wow,
Too soon?
wow. Who brought this guy in, man? Holy shit!
It was a botch.
But it wasn't.
Holy,
But
but we
it
don't
wasn't during
talk
a
about
match, so whatever. I don't know.
holy crap, Adam! I never knew you were this sick. God damn it!
Well, anyway,
Stay away from me.
Oh, you don't know me very well.
Oh my god.
The-
Ed,
the
where do you
hu-
get these people, man? God
the
damn it.
humor here is always dished out with no expense, so it's okay with me with that. Anyways, okay, Adam, it's your turn. Why is your botch?
Okay.
Why is your botch like bigger than the others?
Okay, the Shockmaster botch is the biggest botch in history because of the way that he was brought in and the way he was supposed to be the next big thing, not Brock Lesnar, but the next like big guy that they're going to push. And after he fell through that wall, that paper wall, there was absolutely, you couldn't go anywhere with Shockmaster after that. And he went from being what was supposed to be like the next huge guy, like he could have been like maybe another Sting or like another, Sid. And after that, it just completely fell on its face. Get it?
Okay.
You see what I did there?
Lame.
Good play on words there. No, it was smart. It was good. Weston. Okay. The champ. Why do you think your summer warning Tito Ortiz botch was bigger than the others?
Well, first off, Terrence already made my argument for me. Because nobody really cared. So now we go to Adam.
But you said people did care.
Well, okay, people. I'm talking about. Okay, what I meant by that is people cared as far as the build was going. People were like, "Oh my God, who is this August Warning?" But they didn't care as soon as he debuted. That's what I mean.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. See. That
Uh.
somewhat kind of made sense. Okay, continue.
Anyway, so yeah, the reason why again mine is better than Adams and Stageman's is simply because again it could have been the thing that ultimately made TNA bigger than what it was, and also, yeah, granted it happened in TNA, but also it did happen on a somewhat big promotion, at least someone that's like almost comparable to at least like a New Japan in some ways.
Yeah, but I'm talking about WCW, which was
Well, I know, but
arguably.
I'm not debating as to like rather like promotion or something like that. What I'm basically
And WCW was really hot at the time too. Like
I know
WCW.
I'm not debating that. What I'm trying to debate is TNA is at least somewhat of a big company, and a lot of people were hyped for the August 1 warning, and it just fell flat on his face. And on top of that, people, at least with the Shockmaster, he's like kind of remembered. You know what I mean? Nobody had no fucking Tito Ortiz's until you start talking to TNA fan or MMA fan.
Yes, but people only remember the Shockmaster botch because of how bad it was. So yes, people remember.
Shockmaster.
People talk about it, but as a botch.
And also, Shockmaster's botch was for the WCW. Sorry, not bad. WCW, which was already an established company. Okay, this moment could have established TNA as like a top dog in the wrestling business. But again, it fell out of the face. The Shockmaster didn't really affect anything.
Okay, so you're saying that yours is bigger because no one remembers it, but mine is bigger because everyone remembers it as being a giant fuck up.
And mine is the biggest because it was the funniest thing ever.
No one cares.
Shut up.
Okay. Final statements. Terrence, you have anything else to say?
Snap, crackle, and pop that leg.
You already know
That's
he lost.
Okay. Adam, do you have anything else to say?
When I take the title, I'm gonna shock the world.
Okay. Weston.
My final statement is Tito Ortiz basically helped bury an entire company.
Okay.
That's not what put TNA under. That's not even close to what put TNA under.
Okay. This is really tough. Trying to think of like who had. This is really tough.
Just give me the point, man.
Terrence, here's the thing though. Weston kind of I would say like it's between. I think it's between Adam and Weston right now, because because here's the thing. Because the way that they set it up, way more than your Sid moment. Because Sid's moment isn't like as remembered as the others, and you didn't actually say that Sid was a very important main eventer for WCW at the time because they didn't have any baby faces. Like, remember, it was a fatal four-way with 3 other heels, and they didn't have anybody to face the other heels. So you could have brought that up because Sid was like the last babyface, and they had to resort to bring back older stars. And yeah, you didn't bring that up. So it's between Adam and Weston. And Weston, I think he kind of swayed me more with the Tito Ortiz. The fact that it was built up for many many weeks, and people did think that it was going to be like this big thing, and they were hyped for it, and then it was a huge letdown at the end. So, and the fact that TNA wasn't at WCW's level, and that could have been something that would have made TNA even bigger. And that was like, remember, that was at the time where TNA were signing people left and right. So you could have expected someone like, I don't know, like Jericho or someone like that to be there. Um, so him saying like, okay, it turned out to be Tito Ortiz, and it went over like a fart in church. So yeah, like I think Weston gets the point.
Yeah.
He gets
Are
that.
you surprised?
Ah, I knew I should have picked Owen Hart.
Again, that's sick. God damn it. I know, Ed. You got to give this man the point. You got to put him over a little bit. But after
The
this,
champ is here. And he's
I
staying.
like
He's got to
here's
get
what
some heat on me. Yeah.
like when I thought that Adam said like when Adam said like Shockmaster, what I was thinking, I was like, okay, Adam is definitely the winner. But the way that Weston was, selling me on Tito, I was like, holy shit, that's the clear winner. Anyways, biggest missed opportunity in a storyline. We'll go with Weston first since he won the first round.
Hmm. I can have some little time to think, right? The
Um,
biggest missed opportunity in a story.
okay, I'll give you 20 seconds.
Hmm. Ah, shit. There's a lot of stories that I feel like could have been better, but what's the one that? Uh, the biggest.
You want me to get back to you?
Yeah, go ahead. I got to think about this. Because there's a lot of stories out there that I feel like could have been better.
Okay, we'll go with Adam now.
Okay.
What's the biggest
The
missed
best-
opportunity in a storyline?
The biggest missed opportunity in a storyline for me, and I think it's the biggest missed opportunity in a storyline of all time, is when they had the wedding between Tess and Stephanie. And Triple H came out, and Triple H basically revealed that he was already married to Steph. After that, they could have really built up Test, and they could have done so much more with Test instead of just basically having him get squashed to Triple H in a very short nothing match. At that time, Test was a big guy. He had a good look. He was muscular. I felt like he could have main evented. And I felt like he could have had some pretty decent matches with Trips. But unfortunately, I don't know if this was Triple H's idea or not, but he wound up getting buried, as a lot of other guys have under Triple H. And basically, after that, there was no real revenge on Test's part. So I feel like that was a giant missed opportunity, because Test should have been more pissed off, basically, that it was revealed that Stephanie was already married to Triple H. And then, a while later, when they revealed that the whole thing was a ploy, and that Stephanie was in on it or whatever, they could have done something big with Test then, because then you could have had Test get revenge against both of them.
Okay.
And at the time, you could have Triple H, not Triple H, sorry, Test, saying to Stephanie, oh my God, I can't believe this. I'm going to take care of Triple H for you, blah, 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 blah. Then you have Stephanie turn on Test, and both of them, beat down Test. And then that could be the end of the angle, or at least have one more match between Triple H and Test, where Triple H goes over, or even Test goes over if they wanted to, make Test the next big guy. And
Okay.
that was a huge missed opportunity.
All right. Cool. Terrence, what is the biggest missed opportunity in a storyline?
The whole invasion angle. Um, like let's just put it. The reason why I say that is because the invasion storyline could have been easily the biggest storyline in wrestling history. And also could have been the most profitable storyline in wrestling history. This was after the Monday Night Wars, which was basically the biggest war in like wrestling history, with Raw and Nitro battling out for ratings and supremacy and stuff like that. After WCW went under, this could have been a perfect opportunity for WWE to make this big WCW versus WWE thing come to life in WWE. And plus, imagine if they were to have, you know, the bigger stars like let's say Hogan, Hall, Nash, and stuff like that, and all that kind of stuff. Hold on one sec.
Okay. Invasion angle. That's Terrence's choice. Weston, did you come up
Yeah,
with
I'm
anything?
I'm I'm back. I'm back.
All
Back.
right, go ahead and explain.
So yeah,
Right.
I
uh,
did
s- s-
explain too to this point.
yeah. So they could have had the bigger stars and stuff like that. And sure, they had to buy out their contracts, but they could have like at least some of their contracts could have been bought out, or at least they could have just saved off the invasion angle, for another year. Like imagine you had all those bigger stars like Hogan, Hall, Nash, Sting, stuff like that. Imagine the following WrestleMania you had one big dream card of let's say Hogan versus Austin or Undertaker versus Sting. That could have been something that you know made a shit ton of money for WWE, but instead they completely rushed the storyline where you only had a couple of key names like Booker T and DDP and stuff like that, and then you had a bunch of lower to mid card guys from WCW, and then you add in the ECW guys, and it's just like, okay, it's not really as big. And then what made it worse was you made this about the McMahons. It's not about WWF versus WCW. It's more or less just about the McMahons, and you made WCW seem like they're the villains here. In actuality, it's more or less WWF, if you really think about it. So obviously the invasion angle as a whole has been one big missed opportunity for WWE because they could have just made a shit ton of money as a business. Like imagine they actually went through the invasion angle properly and how big it could have been. It could have been like monumental. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Right. And the Invasion pay-per-view, it was like it had the highest buy rate next to WrestleMania of that year.
Imagine you had all those stars. Imagine they actually booked the whole storyline a lot more properly. Imagine they
Right.
actually took time to buy out those contracts before even starting the invasion angle and stuff like that. Imagine WrestleMania 18 the following year. You know,
Right.
just imagine and look how it ended up being a waste of time afterwards. You know, Y- it's just all of a sudden after the invasion angle, all those big stars started to show up a year later. So it just became one big waste of time. So,
Okay.
you know.
Well, Weston, you've got like a huge challenge ahead of you. You better
All right,
come
does
up
this
with
have
something big.
are you talking about just missed opportunities in general, or does that have to be a story?
It has to be a storyline, like something with a storyline that maybe fucked up like a career or something like that. You know?
All right. Um, on that case, then I'm gonna have to go with the Nexus angle.
Okay.
Uh, to be honest, you could have had your next great faction. This could have been a really great thing. But you never really gave them that opportunity to kind of break out of their shell and become something great. And the booking of these guys was just horrible afterwards. Especially when Cena got a hold of them. Um, I mean, I know people would like to joke around Cena burying people, but they literally buried the Nexus, not knowing what they could have had. I mean, you could have had the next best thing, like I said. And also, you had a lot of great guys in that faction, like Wade Barrett. Even a guy like Justin Gabriel had potential. And as we all see now, Heath Slater actually has a lot of potential as a relatable face. And then you had David Otunga, who could have been really great too. You know, he could have been a great heel for the Authority or something like that. But you know, it all crashed and burned when John Cena got a hold of them. And then even after that, they didn't really book him that great. You know, they split him up. One became the core and all that. And they tried to add CM Punk to the Nexus later on, but you know, at that point, it was almost like, who cares? And again, you had this faction that just came in, destroying shit and, you know, taking things apart. You know, in other words, you did a good job at the beginning, but you just didn't know how to finish it in order for the Nexus to become, you know, that next great faction that they were supposed to be. They could have been up there with guys like literally like, you know, the Bullet Club and Los Menos de Armada from AAA or something. They could have been much better than they were supposed to be. And now in wrestling history, they'll be looked at as kind of like jokes when they should have been known as a dangerous tag team. I mean, faction.
Okay, okay. Now, Weston, why is the Nexus a bigger missed opportunity than the others?
Um, I believe his was the Invasion, right, Terrence?
Yeah.
Because, you know, even though the Invasion was kind of a missed opportunity, it's still a legendary thing that happened.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of people still view it as a very cool thing. They love the fact that it happened. Yeah, you could say it should have been done better, but still, it's always going to be, you know, a legendary thing to happen in wrestling. So I wouldn't even call that really a missed opportunity, because like I said, yeah, they could have done better, but it's still regarded as one of the most shocking things in wrestling history.
Okay.
And what
And
about Adams?
Adam said about Test being a missed opportunity
Triple H.
because, yeah, with him and Triple H.
I don't think Test was that big of a missed opportunity. I mean, to be honest, back in the day, you had a lot of great talent during the Test time, and to be honest, let's just say the WWE did book Test right, you know, absolutely perfect. You're looking at a guy that, especially at that time, probably would have been only a decent, good mid card heel. 'Cause let's be honest, Test wasn't that type of wrestler to make you automatically give a shit about a storyline. He just didn't have that hook about him. And he didn't really have, you know, the
That's
charismatic.
because the way he was booked.
But still, though, I mean, because like, you know, it's like I always say with Terrence when we argue about talent. I said it. You can literally give a guy the shittiest script of all time, but as long as he's got charisma and a personality about him, he can help get it over. I mean, look at The
Hmm.
Rock. He's always given cheesy promos, but he always does a great job of getting it over. Same thing with John Cena. You put him in a shitty feud, he'll help get it over because you know he's John Cena. And if you want to go with somebody that's like in the mid card that makes you care about people and care about their feud, let's go with The Miz. Let's be honest, The Miz hasn't really been given the best opportunity, but he still makes the best of it because he's the fucking Miz. And if you're telling me that Test, I almost said Taz, but if you're telling me that Test had that kind of potential, then you're delusional. He didn't. I mean, we can debate all day till the fucking birds come home about rather he would have been better if WWE booked him right, but in reality, he just didn't have that special
You
thing
say the
about
birds come home?
him. Well, yeah.
I think it's the cows come home, buddy.
Well, who cares? Point is, Test
Well,
was not
birds,
that big of a
birds, cows, they
mistake.
both come home. Yeah.
Okay. We didn't nitpick
Well,
about something.
but who? Yeah, but the rooster comes home to roost. No, that's not the rooster. Wait, who comes home to roost?
I have no
Someone
idea.
comes home to roost.
Okay.
Anyways, continue, Weston.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much my point. We can debate all day about rather Testa's booking could have made him better or not, but in reality, he just didn't have that special thing to him that most wrestlers should have. Again, he
Okay.
was just another guy trying to make it to the top that failed.
All right. Adam, why is your missed opportunity bigger than the others?
Okay, well, I think it's definitely bigger than the invasion angle because you're talking about contracts and you're talking about something that WWE didn't really have control over at the time. A lot of the big guys' contracts, like Nash and Flair, were, and I think Goldberg also, were Time Warner contracts. So because they were Time Warner contracts, WWE couldn't get those contracts for at least like another year or so. So that WWE had any power over. When they did have the money to get those contracts, yes, they did wind up putting into the XFL instead of those guys' contracts. But, which was stupid, but, in my opinion, but the test thing was bigger because that was a storyline that WWE had control over and something that they blew. And yeah, I mean, maybe Test wasn't the most talented guy, but he was a big, muscular guy. And Vince loves a hoss. Like, it doesn't matter how good you can wrestle at that, at that period. It's changed over like the last 10 years or so, with guys like Daniel Bryan and Rey Mysterio and things like that. Shawn Michaels, on and on and on. But at that time, it didn't really matter as long as you were like big. If you were big, like look at Kevin Nash, right? When Kevin Nash was pushed towards the title in, I think, 94, 95?
You can't compare Test to Kevin Nash. Test is nowhere near Kevin Nash.
No. But I'm talking about Kevin Nash then. Kevin Nash when he was Diesel, not Kevin Nash.
Either way, he's not on his level. The Diesel character is still, a well-known figure in wrestling.
Now
he's still basically a legend either way. Test is never going to get that legendary status that was Diesel.
But that's because Nash was given the opportunity to go further. Test wasn't.
You're
so
comparing apples to oranges.
No. I think you're looking at Test the way that he was booked, not the way that he could have been booked.
But Diesel wasn't really booked that well either. But he was still a pretty well-known, established star in WWF.
He won the world title from Bob Backlund at Madison Square Garden in 8 seconds.
Okay. Again, still figure.
And when he
Test couldn't even lick Diesel's boots, dude.
And when he was in WCW, he only got the push that he got because he booked himself that way.
So are you telling me that if we go back in time and replace Test with Diesel, that he would have been he would have been part of the famous thing called the Click, and he also would have had. Oh, sorry, I kind of like a little burp coming. Are you telling me that he also would have done the same thing that Kevin Nash did for the NWO if he was put in that situation?
I don't know because it never happened. But here's what I am saying though. Who broke Goldberg's winning streak in WCW?
Who?
It's Kevin Nash.
Okay. Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was booking WCW at the time?
I think Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash. So who was booking or at least helping write the shows? I believe when that whole thing happened with Test. Stephanie and Triple H were writing the show.
Not really. You can't really compare the booking style of WCW and WWF.
No, not the booking style, but like the way that Test was booked into oblivion because Stephanie and Triple H were booking. Kevin Nash booked himself to beat Goldberg's streak because Kevin Nash was booking.
Okay.
Yeah, Kevin Nash.
Adam, I want you to tell me, why is it a bigger missed opportunity than the Invasion and the Nexus? You already said why it's bigger than the Invasion, but why is it bigger than the Nexus?
Well, because Nexus was still great. And Nexus still, had its moments. It could have gone further, but at the same time, you still have Daniel Bryan come out of that stable who had a great run. David Otunga currently has a job as a announcer. Wade Barrett had a couple of IC title runs. And he never got, I agree that he never got the opportunity that he really deserved, Wade Barrett, and he should have won the world title. But, you still have some great Nexus moments where Test was just booked into oblivion, and I felt like he could have been really big, where Nexus guys already had their moments, or still had their moments, despite.
But didn't your argument start with Test at a wedding and all that? But yet you remember, yet you're saying they had bigger opportunities than Test. So obviously you do remember stuff that Test did.
Oh yeah, no, I mean
Yeah.
I remember stuff that a lot of guys did that doesn't, add up to anything. I could go on and on about angles that didn't make sense or didn't come to fruition. But just because I remember, like, there are a ton of angles in WCW that didn't make sense, that I remember. But just because I remember them doesn't mean that they're good. There's a lot of stuff that I remember that was just crap.
Okay, Terrence, why?
But I gotta ask you before we move on, Adam.
Okay.
Your whole honesty, do you believe Tesla's really that good to the point where even if he had better
No.
booking, he could have been okay, then yeah.
No,
That's my
I don't believe he was that good. But he was a big guy. He was a Haas. Vince liked big guys.
But being a big guy doesn't mean anything. That's like verbal diarrhea. That's like
No, but think about all the big guys in history that were completely talentless, going all the way back. And I'm not saying this, to knock the guy, right? No. I'm not saying this to knock the guy, but Andre the Giant. All right, he's a legend. But he couldn't wrestle. He had no wrestling ability.
But you don't
Big
have
Show.
to. Ironically, the less important thing in wrestling is learning how to wrestle. And I think your generation is under the Giant because he knew how the business worked and he had the charisma and the personality. You're comparing an all-time legend, and you're basically telling me the reason why this would work is because Andre basically didn't know how to wrestle, but yeah, you got to test a guy that could wrestle and didn't give him the right opportunity, which is not the case.
Well, yeah, but that was your point. But I'm just throwing it back at you that just because you said, oh yeah, but he didn't have talent. Well, now there's a lot of big guys that got pushed. Neither do you consider Big Show a great wrestler? No, I would rather.
But that depends
I
on
would
the
rather.
context you're using it. Big Show as a legend in the wrestling business, yes, he can wrestle. As far as Big Show in the ring for his size, yes, he can wrestle. And he knows how to use his body to tell a story. But if we're talking about doing flips and kicks, then no, he can't wrestle.
I would rather watch you wrestle Terrence than watch Big Show match.
Well, Big Show knew how to wrestle. He's a legend for a reason, and you can't argue that. You'd be delusional.
No. There's a difference between being a legend and having talent. I'm not saying that
No, there isn't.
he's not.
You have to have talent.
Oh my God.
To become a legend.
All right, I think that's a whole nother podcast. Now we're just getting off track. That's a whole nother. Yeah.
Okay, Terrence, jump in, please. Terrence,
That's a terrible statement. Oh.
Yeah? Yeah, I'm here.
please jump
Yeah.
in. This is a train wreck.
Yeah. Here's why I say my arguments is a lot more better than both of you guys. First off, let me just make it short and sweet. The Test storyline with him and Triple H may have only affected one person. The Nexus angle may have only affected maybe a certain amount of people. But the invasion angle actually affected, in a lot of cases, somewhat the long-term plans for WWE that could have made things a whole lot better for years to come.
What are you talking about? There were a lot of wrestlers who kind of benefited from that.
Nope. Because here's the thing.
RVD, he's known.
RVD got better over time when he was.
Hold on.
Here's the thing.
Hold on.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, and I will say this: sure, you had a couple of somewhat stars, and the whole alliance thing and stuff like that.
Dude, you
But
gotta keep.
in all honesty,
the ECW wrestlers, whether it was a flop or not, they literally what's the word I'm looking for? They benefited being just a part of that invasion angle. Whether it was a bust or not is kind of relevant to what I'm about to say. Because you got to
Actually,
remember,
it does. Actually, it does.
hold on. ECW
You didn't let
was
me
not on
finish.
the same stage as a WWE. So, whether it was a flop or not, the fact that those ECW wrestlers got to be part of the invasion angle helped them tremendously because it gave them more
In
exposure
what
and helped
way?
people know. A lot of ways.
Like who?
If they were never a part of that invasion angle, they probably don't cost more as much as they do today to book them at an indie event.
Okay. Again, that's not the point here. This is what I'm trying to say
Say
here.
it didn't play a part. I mean, again, people did benefit from the invasion, whether it was flop or not.
It was a flop, and of course, it didn't benefit anything. It ended up being a one big waste of time.
It did benefit. It benefited a lot of wrestlers who needed that exposure on a stage like WWE.
Okay, let me ask you one person who was a part of that whole, who was, a mid card, lower to mid card guy that was in the alliance that really benefited the, who benefited in the, what was it, the invasion. Um, name a few. Name a few. Other than you can't really name Booker T, can't really name RVD because they're somewhat known names. I'm talking about a lower card guy who was in the invasion act because basically a shitload of people were there. You know,
Okay,
they're probably
Weston. Okay, Weston. Name three guys from the alliance that were mid carders. You can't name Booker T because he was a main eventer. Um,
DDP, RVD.
yeah, they were already world champions, like former world champions. So
Alright, so just name wrestlers who benefited from being part of the alliance.
yeah, mid carders.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember. Okay, here we go. I would say Billy Kidman kind of benefited. Yeah, he was still a star in WCW, but he became a bigger star once that whole situation happened. Uh, I would say Edge and Christian did. If I remember what they
Billy Kidman
Um,
was gone almost
f-
immediately.
Yeah, but Edge was a part of the alliance, and plus Christian was a part of WWF. I'm talking about who strictly came from WCW/ECW that came into the main roster, who
I
was
would say
in.
Ivory did.
Wasn't
Justin.
Ivory already? Wasn't Ivory already in WWE before the invasion?
Well, either way, I believe she was a part of it.
Okay, here. Okay, forget about that. But to go
Mike
back to my
Awesome
point,
definitely benefited. Raven, I would say benefited.
Did you say Mike Awesome? Did you say Mike
okay,
Awesome
okay,
benefited? I'm sorry. I had
all
to
right,
I had to
okay.
unmute and laugh at that.
Yeah,
Here's
Mike,
okay,
Mike
all
Awesome
right,
really benefited.
all
again,
right.
it has to do with the whole exposure argument. It gave him a lot of exposure and helped him become more of
Yeah,
a
but
name.
you can make this. But you can make the same argument with the Nexus. It gave them exposure because they're on Raw.
Same thing for Raven, Rhino. Uh, uh,
Raven was already a former ECW World Champion.
yeah, but not a lot of people. But not a lot of people knew who he was. Again,
ECW.
ECW. Not a lot
now
of
we know.
people knew.
Nobody really knew. It's not.
No one was watching ECW in 1997.
No, I didn't. I didn't say
People
that.
were.
But
Okay,
But to go,
final
but to,
final
but
statements, guys. Okay, final statements,
no,
guys.
I didn't. I didn't finish my. I didn't actually finish my actual statement.
Okay, go ahead.
I didn't finish.
Go ahead,
But
Jones.
to go,
Tess kind
I
of
didn't.
benefited from being part of the alliance. Now that I remember.
Yeah, but here's. But your point is, people got exposure from being a part of the invasion angle. I can make the same thing. What you said about the Nexus. Look what happened in the Nexus. Did anyone actually benefit in the Nexus? You're basically saying no. Nobody really benefited anyone, and nobody actually benefited being a part of the invasion angle. It became one big waste of time. It really did. Did it do anything good long term for the company? No. So it
Actually,
didn't. And
like I said, it's still a
and,
legendary
and,
moment in wrestling. People still talk
it,
about it to this day.
people still talk about it, but did it actually did anything good long term? No. It ended up
It gave wrestlers exposure. It made them worth
just
more
like the Nexus did. The Nexus gave Wade Barrett exposure, Daniel Bryan exposure, David Otunga exposure, Heath
but they
Slater.
weren't known until they got to W. Like they literally debuted as a faction in WWE, And to be honest, again, like the Nexus just didn't really do anything for anybody. Didn't even do anything for John Cena, and he's the one that fucking
What? It didn't do anything for Daniel Bryan? The guy got fired and came back and still had.
Like I'm just saying, like
But Daniel Bryan didn't get
I'm
over.
just
He
using
got
your,
over by doing fucking random
but I'm
matches.
but
The
I'm
fans
using
getting
your
behind him because he was from the Indies.
no, but I just basically use your argument against you. You're basically saying that people in the invasion angle, people got exposure regardless, and I'm basically using the same argument there.
But the
But
Nexus didn't hop from another company to WWE. They were a WWE thing.
uh-huh. I didn't
So
say
yeah,
it had to go from you had to be a
I know.
well-established star.
Is
Yeah, but
lower companies got to WWE and they got exposure. What you're telling me kind of makes no sense because the Nexus was already in WWE. They were WWE original faction. They didn't have.
yeah,
They
but
didn't
in
outside of WWE.
guys who were part of the invasion though purposely got buried by Vince just because they were WCW guys.
There you go. There you go. That
No,
basically
damn
just
it!
that
Damn
there
it,
you
Terrence!
there you go. There
Fuck!
you go. Like I just gotta be like that's just how it is. Like sure, and like I said before, look at the what Adam said. He's talked about the test storyline, right? Sure, it may have only
No, no, no,
affected
no. Forget what
no
Adam
no
said. Forget what Adam said.
no. I'm
Adam's
just
not
like
here.
bringing no. I'm just bringing him an example. He brought up the whole testing, right? So it only affected one person because it was really only affected Tess because he said his argument was it could have built him a lot better. Okay, no problem. Okay, then but the Nexus here, it may have only affected a few people here or there. Daniel Bryan became a former world champion after that. Heath Slater became one of the coolest. Mm, okay,
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
RVD
one
became
person,
champion,
one
then
person, but
wound up
but I'm
dropping two
talking
belts in the same week because he's an idiot.
and look at
also
the story.
at least wrestlers from the invasion benefited. The fucking Nexus are look like a sort of a joke. Let's
Okay,
be
how did
real.
how did people really benefited the Nexus? Not Nexus. The invasion. How did it really? It ended up being a waste of time. Other than
They
exposure,
but the wrestlers
what
that
else? What else did it got?
got exposure and helped their career tremendously.
In what way?
So,
Who?
are you telling? Hold on. Are you telling me if you were a wrestler, you wouldn't at least take part in the invasion because you knew your value would go up? Is that what you're basically telling me? You wouldn't do it.
That's the same
Yeah, but
argument you
there's
could
no
have made in the
guarantee that
Nexus.
your invasion was going to go up. There's no, it wasn't
But that's
guaranteed. Like,
also you can make. But also that you
Okay,
can make the same argument on the Nexus part. They got exposed just by being on Raw.
okay,
Dude,
guys. Okay, Terrence, do you have anything
Yeah.
else to say about the test storyline?
No.
Okay. Now, final statements. Okay, Weston,
Mhm.
what would be the one thing that you would change to make it to delete from it being a missed opportunity? How would you take that opportunity and make it better?
First off, the whole argument of they came to WWE so they got more exposure. That's fucking stupid because the Nexus was part of the WWE from the get go. So they were always gonna have the same value no matter what. And also nobody really benefited from it. There was, if I remember, there was no world champions a part of Nexus. All of them were just in mid card hell, if not fucking jobbers. And now that they're in the Indies, they're not really worth much.
Okay, now give me like a I don't know like a 6 month plan for like the Nexus members. What would you do?
That would take too long, wouldn't it?
Not just a quick summary. Like what who would they be feuding with? How would you make them better? Like just a quick thing.
Uh, how would I make them better?
Yeah.
Wade Barrett, I would book him as kind of like the way he was at the beginning when he first played with the Nexus when he had the God Save the Queen theme song and all that. And I would have gave him a more like a better moveset because I think his moveset was really boring. I mean, granted, he was a heel, but at the same time, you could do moves that are heels that are kind of entertaining in terms of like, oh my god, I can't believe you just did that to him. Justin Gabriel, he wouldn't be. Oh yeah, and the feud that Wade Barrett would be a part of that probably would have made him better. I would have probably have him go over John Cena at least one time. And then Justin Gabriel, I would have gave him a gimmick. He wouldn't have been the guy that's, oh, I'm just from South Africa and I'm doing fucking 450s off the rope. I would have made him I would have made him a baby face, and he would have his rivalry actually would have started being Wade Barrett because it was not the story, but his rival would have been Wade Barrett because Wade Barrett turned on him, and Justin Gabriel had this character of like he kind of wanted to become like an underdog and defy everyone and prove everyone wrong. And his whole gimmick probably would have been fuck. I can't really give this guy a gimmick because like again he didn't really have much to him. But the feud I would put him in is Rey Mysterio was there at the time. I probably would have had like Rey Mysterio put him over and shake his hand at the end. And as for the storyline right now, probably Justin Gabriel versus The Miz. As for David Otunga and Heath Slater, assuming that they made a tag team, well, they take them more, but yeah. David Otunga and Heath Slater probably would have had the gimmick where like it was funny, kind of like a Kane and Daniel Bryan thing, where David's like the Hollywood lawyer that takes everything way too seriously, but Heath Slater just likes to have fun and laugh. And Daniel Bryan, I would book him the same as WWE did, but again, he kind of had to hope that if that's the case, then I have to hope he gets over the same way because again, I don't know how WWE did it because they still kind of fucked up with him, but he still turned to be a star. I think that was all of them. No, Husky Harris. I probably would have made him Bray Wyatt because I'm pretty sure Dusty Rhodes would eventually come up to me and be like, "Hey, I got this idea." So yeah.
Okay. Adam, what would you do to make the Test storyline better?
I would have definitely had Test after the entire after the drugging Stephanie and making her say I do and all that. I would have Stephanie do a bunch of segments where like Stephanie's crying and Tess is like I can't believe he would do this, blah 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 blah, everything like that. Don't worry, I'm gonna get revenge for you. And the whole time Tess doesn't know, but the audience knows that Triple H and Stephanie set the whole thing up. So maybe like do some backstage segments with I would do a lot of it. I wouldn't have any matches between Triple H and Test. I would do it all through backstage segments. Don't have them touch. Real old school. And do a bunch of backstage segments where Triple H and Stephanie are like toasting champagne and stuff like that, and they're like, wow, he has no idea, and blah 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 blah, and everything like that. And then maybe do a reveal through like a backstage cam or something, or like a security cam, where you see Triple H and Steph, like laughing it up and stuff, and Tess sees this, and he like breaks the monitor, and he goes storming into Triple H's dressing room, and then you can have like a backstage fight between Triple H and Test. Then maybe do a couple of things where okay, now like it's been revealed, okay, then you do the beginning of the McMahon Helmsley era, but Test has been banned from the building, and then you have things where like Test is in the front row because like he's there because like he bought a ticket, and he jumps over the guardrail and beats up Triple H. Security guards take him away, and then basically build into a match, which would definitely be at one of the big four. I don't know if I can see it being like a WrestleMania match, but maybe like a main event at SummerSlam between Triple H and Test. And then, depending on how the crowd was reacting, I would put Test over. But if the crowd wasn't responding favorably to Test, then I definitely would have put Triple H over.
Okay. Terrence, how would you? What would you change with the invasion angle, and how would you make it better?
Like I said before, I would have just had it be done where once they buy out all of the contracts, or once the contracts have been expired from most of the top guys, I would have just restarted the invasion angle with those guys and not make it more about the McMahons and just make it more about WCW versus WWF. And I would have just had the WWF more or less be the heels and WCW be the baby faces in that case. So that's basically what I would have done, and that's it. You know,
Hmm. Okay. Give me something like a pay per view. With like a few key matches.
like let's say like the first pay per view they do. Let's say I don't know.
Just like three key matches for like the big a big pay per view like WrestleMania or something.
Let's say not Wrestle may be a bit too easy. Let's say Backlash, for example. Let's say they
Okay.
start the paper. Let's say they start from Backlash. Let's say they do they save the bigger matches for later for like WrestleMania or SummerSlam. So let's say they do um matches like Undertaker versus um actually not Undertaker. Let's say they do Scott Hall, not Scott, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus um Sting, for example, or The Rock versus Hulk Hogan, or Undertaker versus uh, what's it? Um, let's say Kevin Nash, for example, something like that. Let's say you have those key feuds, and then later on, let's say after 6 7 months of building this stuff, let's say or even a year later to WrestleMania, they actually do, let's say, the Undertaker versus Stings and Austin versus Hulk Hogan and stuff like that. Like you can make all these big matches and you can do them like at every pay-per-view, and you save the biggest ones once you reach to WrestleMania, which would probably be the end of the feud, end of the storyline. So that's kind of just a rough sketch I would probably do. You know.
Well, let's see.
This one's hard, isn't it?
I'm trying to think of like there are many missed opportunities. I think we can agree there, and it was probably a lot to pick from. Besides these glaring ones, and I think that you guys chose really well, and I do think like Nexus could have been huge. Um, the test could have been another big main eventer, and the invasion angle could have been like one of the biggest things in wrestling. Hmm. Let's see. Well,
Diff.
let's see. Well, um, Weston, you kind of knocked yourself out with your statement when you said that the guys from the invasion they got they got publicity, they got exposure, when the Nexus guys were pretty much completely unknowns, and they got a big stage as well. And they did, and Terrence did bring up the fact that Daniel Bryan became a big star after that and won the world title. Um,
But he's not known for being a part of the Nexus. I mean,
but still, but
he didn't
still, that segment. But still, that segment, it's still one of the biggest things.
one segment doesn't mean that that guy's like a permanent member of Nexus. I mean, we
It,
got to remember Daniel Bryan got over actually without being. So if anything, I can make the argument that he actually benefited not really being a part of the group.
so it doesn't make it a missed opportunity.
Yeah, for Daniel Bryan himself.
Well, yeah, because you can't right now. You're saying like Daniel Bryan getting out of the Nexus, it's a good thing for him. So that means Nexus is not good enough for him.
Yeah, Nexus wasn't good enough for him.
Okay. And another thing you said, like the other guys didn't get, and I really wish that Terrence and Adam really brought this up because they could have, even knocked you out even more because if they said that the Nexus guys were
How did I knock out myself? If anything, that has to go to show how big of a failure Nexus was. Because if Daniel Bryan was a part of it for like pretty much through its entire.
but you did say like the Alliance members did get exposure, and the Nexus guys, they went nowhere after that, but they did get exposure.
But they were already part of WWE, though. That's my point. They didn't go like Ring of Honor and then like.
But they're lesser known than the Alliance guys. That's the point. So I think Terrence, he made the point well with the fact that the Alliance members, the fact that they were known before, they didn't go to bigger things after that.
Yeah, they were known, but again, being on part of the WWE, the main spotlight, that helped them even become bigger stars.
It's still, dude. Like, still, the Nexus did. The guys went to bigger things after the Nexus. So, and Adam
again, nobody became world champion.
And okay, another thing that you mentioned, which also knocked you out, is the fact that Wade Barrett doesn't have a good enough moveset. So, the fact that he doesn't have a good moveset does, and you said that Test wasn't a good wrestler. So that makes him not talented enough. Doesn't that put them in the same level?
Sure, I guess.
Well, there you go. And here's another thing. I think that Adam, he did a good job with illustrating the fact that, hey, any guy in a perfect storyline and can benefit, with when he said like the thing about the Shockmaster before, and so that does ring true with Test, but still I gotta give the point to Terrence because even though that it was kind of obvious going in, you guys did fight it out really well, but Terrence, when Adam said that, hey, it's not in WWE's hands to when it comes to contracts because those contracts were, Time Warner. Terrence did say, no, you can wait it out and you can do the invasion angle afterwards, after the whole thing, blows over. So I got to give the point to Terrence. Terrence gets the point.
All right, good job, Terrence.
And what about you? I thought you said you were going to shock some people, Adam. What happened, dude? You have yet to get a point.
What happened?
I said I thought you were going to shock some people. You got here with the world title. What went wrong, dude? You don't even got a point.
I couldn't hear you. I couldn't. I don't know what you just said. I couldn't hear you over the sound of me taking your belt.
Let's just get to the next question.
Adam, you didn't realize you need points to do that, right?
Hey, I almost had that last point.
Here's the thing, Adam, dude, you really need to rush now because there are 3 questions left, and you still got a fighting chance, but you still got to get at least 2 points to get to the final round.
Finals, yeah.
You are
hey, you know what? I should have had that last question, but Terrence stole that from me. I have to say, Terrence made some good points, but I kind of helped him in a way. So I kind of
too bad.
If I can't win, I'm just gonna be Team Terrence.
Yay!
dude, you can't be in a team with Terrence. I'm already in this team, dude. We're called the Wrestling Express.
But that's my channel, though.
We're still
Yeah, but you know what? You're the Marty Jannetty of that team. Let's just face it.
Really? I've heard a lot of people tell me that I carry the channel, but oh well.
Since when?
A lot of people, all 3 people, really.
Okay. Backstage politics aside, Um, since Terrence got the final point, he gets the first. He gets to answer first to this next question, and that is, name two wrestlers from any era that would be great in a tag team. It can be from
Hmm.
any promotion, any era, any time, whatever.
That's actually a tough one. There's one that kind of comes to mind. I'll just probably just pick this on the top of my head. I I
I
I
think I know.
I'd actually I would actually go with Undertaker and Sting
Okay,
as a tag team.
interesting.
Um, um, just two iconic characters from, WCW and WWF. Two dark characters. Just imagine them as a team. Like you see how the Brothers of Destruction were with Kane and Undertaker. Imagine you had with that, but with Sting and Undertaker and stuff like that. I know it's not a very good explanation on why, but I just feel like it would be a big iconic tag team with Undertaker and Sting, especially if they were to like build it up as something really cool. You know,
Oh,
the iconic figure from WCW and the iconic figure in WWF, teaming each other and being together and stuff like that. That would be really cool. Um,
I'll get back to you on that when I want you to come up with a name for the tag team and how would you put them together? Okay.
how would I put them together?
Yeah,
Didn't I kind of answer that question? Like,
like
I'd probably
a
well
storyline or something like that. Something
well
on the fly.
if anything, if I were to pick a storyline, no, actually make a storyline out of it. Um, I would have done was let's say in the middle of the feud with Sting and Undertaker, for example, not Sting and Undertaker, Sting and Triple H. Uh, you could have actually not with the Sting with Triple H and Sting. You could have done it where, let's say, you had the Shield taking on Undertaker like they did it a few years ago, and let's say they took out Undertaker like they did. Imagine Undertaker came back with his one big return, and then he needed a partner, and he instead of with Kane, because you know how Kane always fought with the Shield so many times. Imagine you had Sting. Imagine Sting and Undertaker taking on two members of the Shield. Let's say Rollins and Reigns. Two dark figures side by side taking on let's say the biggest faction at that time. And let's say at a SummerSlam or something like or a Survivor Series. And
Okay.
you could have call it if I were to give it a name. Um, uh, I'll probably just combine. We have the man called Sting and the Phenom, the Undertaker. Uh, hmm. The team called Darkness. This sounds so cheesy as hell.
That's
Well,
dude. I'm doing the slow clap. I'm doing the fucking slow clap
that's
right
so.
now. A team called Darkness.
We're
That's
building
worse. That's a worse name than Team Hell No.
darkness. Dude,
That's worse than Team Hell No.
the sad part is, Adam, he had something building up, but then like he committed the biggest botch he could have. But like I don't know.
I think I should have changed my first question, man.
Oh,
It's
dude.
like it's like
But I had to
it's
pick
like
that on the
it's like
top of my head. But I'll
It
probably
was
come back
it's
to
like when
that.
the girl it's like when the girl has her hand under the covers and like she's working you right, and then like right before you're about to blow she stops.
Adam,
That's
just so you know, I
that's
get more pie than you in a day that I get more pie in a day than you get in a
no
lifetime. Baby.
no. You don't get pie. You only get strudel.
Dude, I'm sorry, you can't defend that. That was the biggest, like, probably Ghostbusters movie. I don't know, but I don't know what the fuck to compare it to because it was just that big of a flop, dude.
I can compare it to something. The August 1 warning.
Hey, I couldn't think of a name. I thought I didn't have to actually pick a name. It's that Ed said pick a name.
I was
I just
no,
picked-
I was gonna get back to you, and then you could have picked another name. Okay, okay.
Okay, I'll pick.
You
Get
could've-
back to me.
you could've
Get back to me
had-
the name.
Don't
Back to me on the name.
No,
don't give him
Team
any
Core
ideas.
Darkness is your answer. You have to stick with that now.
Don't.
No, I'll get back.
We'll
screw.
we'll get back to Terrence, and then he can come up with another name. Okay.
And
Adam.
watch him come up with. He's like, all right, I have a name. Ready? Team Cold Darkness. I spent all this time thinking about it, and that's what I came up with.
Any
Okay,
Dragon
so-
Ball Z fans on here? By the way,
Yeah.
does anyone watch Dragon Ball Z Abridged?
Yes.
No.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
gonna.
watch
You know, I'm just gonna call them Team 4-Star. How about that?
Oh, that's
Exactly.
awesome. That's awesome.
Team
That's
4-Star?
That's definitely better than the team called Darkness. Jeez.
Hey,
Why not? Wait,
Hey,
but
at least it's a-
why are they not 5 stars? Why is it only 4?
oh my god! Why you have to make it so technical, man? Damn it, it was a
Okay,
joke.
Adam.
And then Dave
Adam.
Meltzer could have Team minus 5 stars. Yes.
Okay. Now, what's your team?
Okay. I have
Yeah.
the ultimate tag team. And no, Ultimate Warrior's not part of it. But when I was a kid, the biggest wrestler at the time was Hulk Hogan growing up. Now, I was never a Hulk Hogan fan growing up. But towards the end of the Hulkster's career in WWF, towards the end of like his WWF run around, say, like 91, 92, the biggest star who was getting pushed towards the title at the time was Bret Hart. Bret Hart, it looked like, was going to be the guy who was going to take over for Hulk Hogan. So you have the biggest star at the time, Hulk Hogan. Well, actually, he was starting to get booed at that time, but he was still the biggest name. You have the biggest name at the time, Hulk Hogan, and his tag partner, Bret Hart. When I was a kid, I always wanted to see the tag team of Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart because they're both huge names, and we never saw them team up until WCW. Until they were both in WCW, and they were both part of the NWO. So, my tag team is Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart. You have the All-American guy and the Canadian. And I just thought of a really bad name for him too. I don't know if I should say it.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say something like, I need to revise it a little bit, but I was gonna say something like red, white, blue, pink, and black. But
Okay, Terrence, you're off the doghouse.
No.
That's the worst.
no. I'm not saying that's the name.
Wait,
I'm
what
just
did he
saying, like,
say? Wait, what did he say? Sorry, I didn't hear.
red, white, and blue, pink, and black.
That's lame. That's really
No.
lame.
Well, I'm not saying that's the name. I'm just saying you take those elements and you make the name out of that.
Why don't you just call them the Rainbow? How about that?
Team Rainbow? No.
No, that's gay.
Now that's gay.
Okay,
then
Weston.
you could
Weston,
put-
what's your team?
Hey, I wasn't done.
You might as well just give people a stoppage
come back
with
to me.
these things.
Hey, you know what I think?
Weston,
You know what I think about that whole entire thing? Give me a minute. Hold on. This is what I think about that entire shit you just said.
Please don't play a theme song because I don't want to get copyrighted.
Are you giving yourself an orgasm? God damn it.
No, that's literally what I was doing when he was explaining his tag team. What a
God.
disinterested. You're already eliminated before it starts. But anyway, the team that I would have put together. You know what? I would have went with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and JBL.
Play that Bash and Booger theme again.
What? You have two guys that you can already just look at and tell this to be a perfect tag team. You know, they both kind of have the same gimmick, and they're also, I believe, both from the South, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
Uh, and oh my God, just imagine these two white billionaires ordering a black guy around in Virgil. Just telling him to
Yikes.
do. Can you imagine how over that would get and how much heat that would get them? And
Well,
also,
YouTube is fun.
the good thing about this tag team is that they can literally still do what they did in the normal storylines without it really affecting the tag team. And also, just imagine some funny skits with them, like hanging out at a bar, riding through the limousine, you know, going in helicopters and shit. You know, there's just so much you can do with this tag team. It's endless. And on top of that, they're heels. And they would, and since there's two of them, they could make perfect obstacles for a babyface to try to get through.
What year? What year would you have it in?
What year would I have it
Yeah,
in? Do I have to be realistic about it, or can I just pick an era?
you can pick any era. It doesn't matter.
I would probably have it huh. Uh, that's a good question. The era I would probably have it in for some odd reason, I think it would just fit better for whatever reason, is probably the Ruthless Aggression era, because they kind of started having a lot more of those ridiculous gimmicks, you know? So can you imagine like fucking JBL and Ted DiBiase just passing by them being like, look at that faggot shit, man. I swear this country's going to shit. You know,
Yep, YouTube is fun.
uh, and Ted DiBiase and JBL, they would be like, yeah, you're right, Ted. That's why we need to bring real men back into the world. And Ted DiBiase would be like, hell yeah, dude. You know, again, it'd just be a fun tag team. You can do anything with it. They could help get your main baby face over. And you can even do them in the tag division, and they'll still do pretty well at getting over the mid card in the tag division. You can have them even go do their own thing because they're so egotistical that they almost have to one up each other, but do it in like such a while still being a tag team, and that can still work, by the way. So there's just so much you can do with Ted DiBiase and JBL as a tag team.
Do you have a name for them?
You want to come back to me
The
later?
Trump cabinet.
Because apparently that's a curse. I mean, so something.
I have a name for them.
Okay.
The Trump cabinet.
No, just stop. Just go away.
That's too on the nose, and I think it's not just that, but it's just too early because the Ruthless Aggression era was much
way
much
too
earlier.
early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Terrence, why is your team better than the others?
Because that's just the greatest team ever.
It's verbal diarrhea. Shut the fuck up.
Wow. All right, whatever. But my team is better.
Yeah. You know, anyone can say that. Doesn't mean their tag team's better. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, yeah. It's so sad. A tag team that had so much potential but was botched because it was being booked by the hands of Terrence Stageman.
What did you just call me? The handsome Terrence Stageman?
No, I said it's so sad because this tag team could have been legendary, but it's booked by the fucking terrible hands of Terrence Stageman.
The terrible hands of I'm not gonna lie.
You're definitely. He's saying that you're the Vince Russo of this podcast.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you don't even have a name. You're not even trying, are you?
Well,
I have a name.
So what is the name of your team?
Okay. The name of my team of Bret Hart and Hulk Hogan, the greatest American superhero of all time, Hulk Hogan, and Bret the Hitman Hart. The excellence of execution. All right?
Mm-hmm.
My name is Maple Leaf and Old Glory. No, wait.
God damn it! At least. Oh my
Fuck,
god!
I can't come up with a good name.
Adam, this team would be
Yeah.
in the 90s, right?
Yeah, it would be like 92-ish. Yeah,
Okay.
because
Um,
I would build off of WrestleMania 9.
all right.
That's how I would put them together.
Okay, Terrence, what's your team name?
Like I said before, the Team of Darkness.
Serious? That's your team name?
This is gonna be easy. I can come up.
What, if anything, I'll probably choose a different name called the Unholy Icons.
The
There you
Unholy
go.
Icons. Okay.
Yeah, that's a better. Yeah,
That's
that was a different. That was another name I was gonna choose.
Mhm.
You know, so the Unholy Icons. Yeah, that sounds much
Okay.
better. That's actually cool. Shit,
The,
I'm
un-
not
the,
thinking about this before.
the Unholy
God damn it.
Icons. Maple Leaf and what?
No.
Old Glory?
No. I got a better name than that.
Okay.
Is it maple
All
syrup?
right. Fuck off. All right. The Can-Am Connection.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
Come on.
Well, you know why you just call yourself the Olympics, bro?
I can't have
They can't use Can-Am. Can-Am Connection was another team back in the 80s. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I got a name, by the way. I'm gonna go with it.
Go ahead.
All right, ready? Since it's
Yeah.
JBL and Ted DiBiase, they're gonna be this
I
egotistical.
thought you meant a name for my team.
No. Why would I do that? You're the foe, dude. What?
Okay, so
okay.
what's the name? All right.
The tag team for the great Ted DiBiase and JBL, especially, and this goes perfect with their characters and how this tag team would be, the Millionaire Club. Now you're laughing, and that's supposed to be kind of like the point, actually, because they're supposed to be heels that kind of treat each other as best friends. And what do best friends do? They come up with like cheesy names for themselves. So basically, JBL and DiBiase would have this conversation backstage, and it'd be like, "What do we call ourselves, man? We're a great tag. What do we call ourselves? I got one, Ted, the Millionaires Club." And Ted DiBiase would be like, "That's a great name right there." Then he would do the evil laugh he did.
Is this supposed to be Team Kevin and Chris over here, or what's going on here? That's more like you would see from Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. I'm not gonna lie.
Because that's the whole part of that's the whole point of the gimmick that I'm trying to present them as. They're supposed to be two friends who they just think they're better than everyone, and because they're rich and also like again, what do you do with your friend? You come up with easy shit all the time.
No, not really.
You know what?
Wait,
You know
hang
what,
on.
guys?
Can I change my answer completely?
Guys, you know what? Fuck the names. Okay, I
Wow.
changed my mind. Fuck
All
the
right.
names. We don't need.
Wait,
those
hang on. I have a
also
great tag team.
You're supposed to fucking laugh at him and shit. So I just want to point that out.
The team of Ric Flair and Kurt Angle, Team Woo.
Oh, shut up. I'm offended.
Team
by that
Woo.
tag team.
Cause remember when Angle and Flair were having like the woo off?
Yeah,
You're
but you
done.
can also
Woo!
you can also say that for Sting
Woo!
and Flair too. So.
You can also say that for Jake Paul and Ric Flair, like again, terrible.
Okay. Just forget about the names. Let's forget about those because
Yeah, you
The
know what?
fir-
I blame you, Ed.
well,
Putting that
I thought.
question.
Hey, I thought you were creative guys, but fuck me, right?
I am a creative guy. It's just that it doesn't take few seconds to become to make a creative name.
The phenomenal
I'm just-
icons.
First of all, it's called the unholy. It's called the Unholy Icons, you idiot.
I know that's the name I just came up with from the top of my head, and you're telling the Unholy Icons. Sting was a fucking Christian. That's like way too, and he used to do like those Christian shows at that time, and he wouldn't do anything that was blasphemous.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So you're gonna put him in the unholy? Come on, and the Millionaires
I
Club
think I
was
won
done
this
in
round.
WCW. So the Millionaires Club was already done, so you can't really use that name again.
See,
So,
I have the only original name.
dude,
My name is more original.
dude.
Old Glory, Pink and Black. The Pink and Black American Attack.
The less
That
said
sounds
about
like a
that,
kid.
the
That sounds
better.
like a kid show.
The less said about
Red-
that, the better, dude.
Wait, hang on. Stars, Stripes, Blacks and Blues.
Why don't we just call it Camp WWE? How about that?
Or Slam City.
No.
Anyways,
Oh, I got it. Black and Blue, Stars and Stripes. Wait, Stars and Stripes, Black and Blues, Black
what
and
the
Pink
fuck
and
is black and blue?
Pink and. You know, like I'm gonna give you a Black and Blue, Pink and Black, Stars and Stripes, Pink and. No, wait.
All right, enough of the names. Enough of the names. Why is your team better than the others? Terrence, let's start with you. Jeez.
Because it
$1 million.
is.
Hold on, I got a name. I think I could win this.
Fuck the names. No. Fuck the names. No more names.
Yeah, here we go. $1 Million Nightmares. Okay.
Oh, are they trying to be gothic now or dark now? Or what the fuck?
To be honest, I think that last name was. I think that was a good tag team name. I get it.
Terrence, give me the gun.
You know what? You could have just called your name the stock market. See, that would have been. See, that's a badass name.
Dude! Oh no! Wait, I got it. I'm gonna help you out. Ready? The
Oh,
closing
really?
bell.
You guys are gonna tag team the champion?
Well, I'm just saying. See, I made a much better name than
Okay.
for your team than anything else. The stock market. See, that's
Or
badass right there.
Yeah, or the Millionaire Mavens. You know, they could have done something there.
No,
Anyways, fuck
no.
that. Just let's
The broker.
Fuck the names. Yeah,
Fuck
fuck
the
the names.
let's just
Fuck the name.
yeah.
You said F my name.
Terrence, why is your team better than the others?
It's Undertaker and Sting as a team.
All right.
It doesn't say anything. You fucking king of verbal diarrhea.
Everything you say has been verbal diarrhea, Weston. Even the first words that came out of your mouth when you're a little boy was verbal diarrhea.
Guys. Terrence, just I'll give you your shot, dude. I'll give you your shot, Terrence. First, we'll start with you, and then we'll get to Weston. Terrence, why is your team better than the others? And just don't say it's because it's Sting and Undertaker. Just sell me on the fact that those two guys are better together than the others.
I think we're seeing the downfall of a man.
You got Undertaker, Sting.
Oh my god.
As a tag team. Yeah, and then you add in Teddy Long making the match.
What the fuck? Tag team match.
Holla. The greatest team ever, man. The Unholy Icons. Money, I tell you, money.
All right,
I'm being.
Weston, why is your team better?
My team is better because you can do so much more with them. Because number one, they would be heels. Also, who doesn't like a babyface trying to go over a millionaire heel? Also, they could do
Lame.
funny skits with each other. You know, especially when it comes to playing around Virgil, who, mind you, is a black man. So you know, people would be talking about the shit. Be like, oh, JBL.
Oh wow,
JBL's
racist involved. God
Yeah, Nick,
damn
you're
it.
already excited. Nick, you're ready for the feud already and everything.
That's kind of racist, man. Especially in the PG era. God damn it, no. Be a star.
No. Okay, if I remember correctly, he asked
Be
me
a
what era would
star.
I have this happen, and I said the ruthless aggression era. So go fuck yourself. So,
Hey,
All right.
we're not too far off, man. I'm just saying.
All right. Okay. Let Weston talk. Let Weston get his points across.
So they can do funny skits. They can help get baby faces over. They'll help the tag team division millions, no pun intended. And on top of that, they got their characters are so same. There's no way you can really fuck this up. Again, it's a great idea.
Actually, I can fuck it up easily. Just don't book them. Exactly.
Thank you, Vince McMahon.
I hope you know if God's real, you're not going to heaven.
All right.
And then he'll become an unholy icon.
God damn it. I'm
Okay.
surrounded by idiots here.
You'll be in hell with the other unholy icons.
Who are you calling an idiot? What'd you call them? The team of cool darkness, whatever the fuck.
Cool dark. Cool darkness. All of a sudden, Brian Christopher's in the fucking. Brian Christopher and the Undertaker.
Okay, Adam. Adam, what? Why is your team better than the others?
You have the biggest star of the 80s. You have the biggest star of the 90s. You put them together right as Hulk Hogan is beginning to decline and Bret Hart is beginning to go up. Okay? You have chocolate and peanut butter. And no, that's not the name of the team.
Doesn't Bret Hart
But-
hate Hulk Hogan in real life?
I know.
Yeah.
That would not be great chemistry. I don't know if he did at the time. I don't think he did yet. If he did, then I don't think he did at this point. Plus,
And you said
have one of
92,
the-
right?
Shh. All right. You have one of the worst WrestleMania endings of all time. The WrestleMania 9
agree.
ending, which was just a complete botch. It was just a complete fuck up with Hulk Hogan coming out and ruining Bret Hart's moment by beating Yokozuna. You rectify that by making them a tag team, putting them together, and Bret Hart can even help get Hulk Hogan over because Hulk Hogan his popularity was beginning to decline, as I said. So Bret Hart, who was getting popularity, can help Hulk Hogan get over by feeding off of his popularity.
Okay.
Did this guy just says Bret Hart and Hulk Hogan needed Bret Hart to get over?
Also, I explained why my characters would actually form a tag team because their personalities are almost the same. What's the same that would make Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart a tag team? They literally have nothing in common besides the fact that they're human.
They're
Well,
stars.
you didn't actually have to have two guys with similar gimmicks. You know what I mean? You just
Yeah,
saying.
I mean, you just happen to put it together that way.
Yeah, but
I
if
just spoke differently than you, as in smart.
Right, and actually, I forgot to ask Terrence this. Which version of the Undertaker are you talking about?
What do you think?
And what era? Like what era would you have?
He's talking about this Undertaker.
The current Undertaker, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, now why are the others not as good as yours?
Who, me?
Me?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah. Terrence.
No, I already said my
Okay,
answer
okay.
from a few minutes ago. It's Weston's turn now.
You said why yours is better, but you didn't say why the others are inferior. So fight it out, guys.
Oh my god.
This
Okay,
is
here's the
the
thing.
podcast
You
where
have-
Ed loses his mind.
All right, here's the thing. You got what's Adam's team again?
Bret Hart and
Hulk
Hulk
Hogan,
Hogan.
Bret
Maple syrup shit. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Maple leaf and pancakes. I don't know.
Maple.
I don't know.
Maple.
Well,
Wait, hang
that's
on.
my breakfast
Maple
now.
leaf and hot dog.
No.
Oh god! Fucking Sting!
Maple syrup and hot dogs.
Fucking Undertaker today trying to hang with Sting. Oh my god, can you imagine Undertaker like fucking killing himself by trying to fucking come down from the ramp? Like Sting. Oh my fucking god, what a horrible team. Like what's Undertaker gonna do for promos? He's gonna be like, "Arr." What the fuck? What a fucking disorganized random team.
Whoa. Okay, let me answer my question. You idiot. Okay, my team would be so much better. Be so much better than Adams because
Are you trying
what
to
the
set up
fuck is?
Are you trying to set up Undertaker to do another fucking blue blazer for when he jumps from the airplane?
Oh my god, man. Let me.
Dude.
Oh my god, this guy's just making a lot of assumptions, man. This guy.
Yeah, we're getting kicked off of YouTube.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Anyways,
God,
you haven't let me. You haven't even
I
let.
can't even begin to count how many times Owen Hart turned in his grave.
Oh.
So many times. See, Owen Hart turned into the grave so many times that you could hook
Okay,
him up to a small reactor.
okay. Enough of the Owen
and it would
Hart
be enough
stuff.
to power a small
Enough-
city.
Enough of the Owen Hart stuff. But to answer your question, why I say my team is better than these schmucks over here, let's start with Adam's team, for example. Hulk Hogan.
What?
What did he say?
I said,
Oh,
it's-
a bad sitcom. Like you have the Grandpa Undertaker trying to hang with Sting of the '90s.
Undertaker.
No, first
Undertaker
off, no,
coming down. Just imagine Undertaker coming down like next to Sting. Like Sting starts descending, and the Undertaker's just right there next to him coming down.
It's like a bad
oh,
not even a tag team. It's just bad.
Or no, even worse. Sting is coming down, and Undertaker's just walking down the ramp, just like he normally does.
why are you trying
Like,
to
as
make it
Sting is
sound
coming
so
down.
comedic though? It's not supposed to be
like,
comedic though.
I'll just meet you down here, bro.
Oh my
Okay, now
God,
you're trying to make
Fucking
Undertaker sound like
descend
Vince
from the
Russo. Like,
rafters.
it's Grandpa.
I would just walk down the ramp like a normal person.
Oh my god. God damn it. Anyways, let me just say my I haven't even said my point yet. God damn it.
It's bad.
Weston, no offense. But your team sucks. So
Like Adam said, it's like Sting saying, "Okay, let's take the stairs and go attack the NWO." He's like, "No thanks, man. I'll just take the elevator."
you're making
I'm just gonna
Undertaker
walk down
sound
the ramp
like
like a normal person.
you're making Undertaker sound like Triple H, man, with the and I'm gonna
Man,
okay. First of all, I haven't even finished my point yet. Actually, I haven't even started my point. So let's start with Adam's team, for example. You have Hogan and Brett as a team. Really? Come on.
Yes, really, miss.
Really? Undertaker and Sting as a team.
Really.
Undertaker and Sting as a team. Hogan and Brett as a team.
oh man,
God damn! Get the hell out of here with that nonsense. And then you get you get this schmuck here, Weston. The what was it? Jamie
JBL.
Rossi
yeah.
and JBL. And this is gonna happen
Yeah.
in 2005, 2006.
It's so bad.
I don't even know what he just said, but
It's so bad.
Weston, mute
I can't
yourself.
even talk, man. It's so
Sorry, but Grandpa
We have like 2 more questions.
Go ahead.
You go ahead. You do that thing where you come down on the cable. I'll just walk down the ramp. It's fine. No. Taker, come down on the thing with me. It's fun. No, it's all right. You know, I got the ramp right there. You know, I'll just go through the curtain. You know.
I'm
It's cool.
sorry. That's just so out of the version of Taker, you choose his present one, which would just be so sick.
Yeah, not mid-90s Taker, but fucking Ben Geef Taker.
Yeah, Grandpa
Oh.
Taker and fucking Prime Sting trying to choose. It's a bad sitcom.
Hey, I didn't say which thing I had to use. So
Oh my
you-
god, I'm
But
done.
you picked current Taker. You picked a 50-year-old man. Oh my god.
what's your
Who can't-
point?
Oh my god. You could have picked. Here's my point. You could have picked Surfer Sting. No, sorry, not Surfer Sting.
Surfer
Bro
Sting. Oh my god.
Right?
It
You
surfs
could've
up,
picked
dude. And you have Undertaker
No,
like,
no,
I
no.
don't surf.
imagine Grandpa Taker on a surfboard.
He's surfing, and then all you see is like dark clouds and shit. Here's my surf.
And then like shark skeletons are in the background, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Your subs, dude."
I just pictured Undertaker going,
Hey,
surf's up,
hey, at
dude.
least Weston
No, but
is
you
trying to
could've-
make my team a lot more over than it should be with the comedic
You
shit.
could have taken. No, but here's my point.
Your team is
My
more
point is,
interesting than Adams, but not in a good way. It's just like
you
a lot.
could have
What do you mean,
taken
not in a good way? You're laughing,
Sting,
bro.
right?
Just imagine.
No, listen.
If we were to use current Taker and let's say like Sting in his prime, imagine you see Sting doing the whole rafter shit,
Dude,
going
Undertaker-
very slowly while Undertaker's making a slow entrance.
my
But you
God.
could have picked Pro Sting from 97 and Phenom Sting from like 98, 99. It would have been awesome. But you picked freaking current Taker.
Hold on,
What if I use current Sting?
I got something hilarious. Can you imagine Sting and Undertaker making their entrance at the same time, and Undertaker's walker is pimped out to look like a fucking motorcycle?
Oh, God.
You know,
Oh, yes.
Weston-
No. Sting, no. Here's even better. Sting comes down from the rafters Undertaker rides his motorcycle out, and Sting lands on the back of the motorcycle.
Oh my god. Oh my god, what about fucking Undertaker Sting come down from the Rafters? Undertaker's just so fat before he just falls down to the ring. And he
Oh,
just
see now,
Oh,
now
God.
you're trying to make Undertaker seem a lot more worse than it.
Undertaker falls with the fucking life alert.
No, even worse. You have two motorcycles on the ramp, right? And you have Sting and Undertaker come down from the rafters. They land on the motorcycles on the ramp and then ride the motorcycles down to the ring.
Oh my god! Imagine a backstage segment where old Grandpa Taker turn a guy over.
Ride a motorcycle, dude. That's really cool.
First of all, you're talking about current Taker, and you're talking about American Badass Taker. So I'm just saying.
No. I'm not
Oh, God.
Dumbass.
this version of Taker, but like his walker designed as a motorcycle, so it looks like he's going everywhere fast.
Wow. You know,
Wow.
judging
Wow.
by a lot of the ideas you guys are coming up with, it just basically makes my team even more cool.
As though you're making them look like a joke. It's supposed to be Sting and
How am I making them? How am I making them a joke? You're the ones making the joke, you idiot.
You basically buried them. They're fucking.
How?
Because
All right, can we just move on?
Yeah, I'm
You know what? Let's just move on. This guy's just making way too many assumptions and saying that I'm the one that's
All
burying
right.
them. Talking about friggin' making it a bad comedy. Get the fuck out of here
Terrence,
with that
make
now.
your case already.
teams.
No,
and-
the point is, my team is great. Your team's not, especially Adams. What the fuck is that?
Uppers, basically.
You're calling Undertaker a jobber? Oh
Call
my
him the-
god. Get the hell out of here with that nonsense, bro. Yo, that should have given me an automatic point right there, man. He called
I'm
Undertaker a jobber.
Let's just move
Yeah, let's,
on. Like,
yeah, let's
fuck?
let's move on to the next question, man. It's
Not
already
next question. I've yet to defend my tag team and why you guys are horrible. So yeah.
all right. Just go. It's
Well, I already
Weston's turn.
defended my tag team. I already defended my tag team by saying that it's two giant stars. Did
Bret Hart's a
what's his
giant. God, huh? What?
no,
No.
did
He wasn't a
That's not
I
giant
what
think
star.
everyone I think everyone made their case.
No, I didn't
All
make
right. Who gets
I
the
think
point?
I think. What happened to Ed?
He muted.
He probably died laughing.
Our host is
I'll be
muted.
right back,
All right.
man. Shit. Right back.
Let's do a questionnaire. Was it the ad break questionarium?
No,
All right.
We're gonna do any questions until the host comes back because I don't want to get this game show off into like a random rut.
I'm just
There he
trying.
is.
I'm just imagining Undertaker in an old man moped, and he's
Where can you
No. Even better. Oh wait, I got it. Undertaker on the motorcycle and Sting in a sidecar.
Can you imagine Undertaker getting onto Sting for being on his phone too long?
Oh God. Can you just picture Sting in a sidecar? I'm rolling. Sting's like, yeah, I'm rolling. I'm in this fucking sidecar.
Sting is like in the rafters. Hurry up with your entrance, man. Then he falls off. Anyways,
Oh, oh God, that's horrible.
okay.
Horrible.
Okay. Terrence, he defended Sting and Undertaker as
Terribly.
much as he can. Adam, okay. Adam, why is your team why are the others inferior to yours?
Because Undertaker and Sting are both big names and they're both icons, and so is JBL. Well, JBL is a big name, but I wouldn't say he's really an icon. I wouldn't say he's really like one of the greatest of all time. He's a good announcer, but at the time that he was world champion, he wasn't really getting. He wasn't really over as a champion. Ted DiBiase is one of the greatest of all time, but you just have two of like the biggest names ever. Like no one is a bigger name in wrestling, like it or not, than Hulk Hogan. So you take him, and everyone's inferior just because it's Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart, and Undertaker and Sting are big names, but at the same time, you have a great angle that you could work into it as well. other than just oh, there's two guys and they both have like dark gimmicks or whatever, and
Yeah.
that's stupid.
At least they're both not
I'm trying to
old.
sound like, and they're both not old, except for Hogan.
Yeah.
Okay, Weston. Why is the other team's inferior to yours?
Well, mine's better because, as we all know, Terrence's team is a fucking joke, and he would fucking.
Because he picked current Taker. Oh, why didn't he pick 98 Taker? Anyway, sorry.
His team's a fucking joke that would just fucking ruin Taker and Sting's legacy for the most part. He would literally make him like the Two Stooges, dude. But my tag team's better because they would actually help the division get over. Unlike Hulk Hogan, who would play politics to probably make sure Britt and Hogan become the greatest of all time. So in other words, nobody would get over except for Hogan and Britt. Ted DiBiase and JBL, no matter how much they lose, at least for the most part, they would still be relevant and over. And on top of that, you can still do funny segments like we talked about with Sting and Taker. But it fits them because it would be in their character. Fucking be good friends and all that. And on top of that, again, you got the thing that would get people talking, which is you got these two white billionaires fighting over a black girl. Again, it can help the company in so many ways, and this company can go forever because you can still have JBL and Ted DiBiase do their own thing without ruining the tag team.
Okay. Trying to think of.
My tag team makes more sense than Britt and Hogan just randomly put together.
Okay.
And I'm back.
Welcome back, dude.
So did I win yet?
Still thinking of trying to decide who's the better team. Let's see.
Let's just be real. Undertaker and Sting.
Oh wait! I just want to say one thing. It wouldn't be random if they wouldn't be randomly put together because I would build off of the WrestleMania 9 thing. So it wouldn't be random. There would be like a reason for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weston gets the point.
Yes.
What?
How?
Okay.
I think there's some
Here-
backstage politics
here's-
shit going on.
Here's the reason why. Because Weston actually, he named a reason why they're together. And not just that, but they would be helping the tag team division. So there is a long-term thing going on with the team instead of like just putting them together just to face off against the Shield. Like,
Yeah,
you said, Terrence.
that's kind of, wait, isn't that the same thing? Like, you said that at least there's a reason for it.
Well, yeah, but it's like a one-time thing. It's like, Cena and The Rock from Survivor Series 2011. It's just like
Yeah,
a
not
one-time
really.
thing. But
Yeah, and I didn't say like how I would book them. Like I might put everybody over Hogan and Bret Hart.
but here's the thing.
I never
Here's the
said
thing.
how I would book them.
But here's the thing, though. Weston said that Hogan would play politics. So since and Terrence also did mention that Bret and Hogan weren't on the same level in '92 because they had that friction going on at that time. So that would play a big part, and you can't change that no matter how much fantasy we would implement into this question.
Well, if I were booking it, if I were the booker, I would make sure that Hogan didn't play politics.
Well, but no matter what you do, Hogan will always find a way because he is the backstage politicker. And if you're the booker, you're not in control of the company. It would always be someone above you. Like Vince McMahon will always call the shots, even if you were booking the matches. So yeah, Weston gets the point.
All right.
Okay.
Next question.
Okay, Adam, you still got a chance to tie up with Terrence unless Terrence gets an extra point.
Mhm.
Is this going to be like, or can we have like double Jeopardy or what's it called like Family Feud, like all the points are doubled or something?
Good job, Robert. Just stop. Okay.
I haven't really thought of things like that to implement into the game, but maybe in the next episode. So right now,
Okay.
You still got a shot. You still got a shot to reach the final round. Okay. Question 4. Who in wrestling, doesn't matter what company he's at right now, do you see besides John Cena becoming a big star in Hollywood? And we'll start with you, Weston, since you got the point last.
Sorry, I had to drink a water because I was laughing too much at that Sting and Taker thing. Yeah. Okay, let's try to move on. Even though it's fucking hysterical. The guy I would actually have be a superhero guy in movies is actually Roman Reigns.
Okay.
You look at him, you already know this dude can play a good superhero role. And on top of that, he can even be kind of like in movies such as Mortal Kombat. Like, can you imagine him being like Sub-Zero? Like, wouldn't that be such a badass thing? Hell, he can kind of even play Scorpion. And also, he could probably play someone like fucking Thor in a movie. And another thing is, you know, he's already built and everything like that. So if you have a superhero that you're coming up with and you want someone to play, Roman Reigns would be the perfect guy for that. I mean, hell, he can even play Iron Man. If we're being real, I mean, he kind of looks a little bit like Robert Downey Jr. At least a little bit more built, but kind of has like the same facial features almost. And also, he has the voice for it too. You know.
Okay. If you're, let's say you're a Hollywood exec right now. Okay, what movie would you put him in?
Honestly, I would go ahead and put him in Thor. I think Thor fits him the best.
Okay. Adam, who do you see becoming a big star in Hollywood?
Does that have to be someone on the current roster?
It can be anybody like in WWE, TNA, New Japan, Lucha Underground, whatever.
Okay, so active wrestlers only.
It can be any wrestler, even if you say like Wade Barrett or like Ryback.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, someone who has already done Hollywood movies, but is not on any of the current WWE, any of the current wrestling rosters. Like, he's not working for a company, but he's already been in a couple of movies. But I think he can get way bigger than he already is Batista. And
hold on.
yeah, he did have.
He's already in superhero movies though.
Yeah,
Batista.
Yeah, Batista's already a big star. So
yeah,
that
but
really
not in a big, but not in a big role. Like,
No,
it's not a main role. But it's not a main role.
He's one of the main. He's a main.
He's in Guardians. So
yeah, he's in Guardians, but not in like.
He's the main character.
But I'm talking about as like a support. He's a supporting role, but I'm talking about as like a main character.
He has one of the main roles.
They didn't mention anything about being a main character. Just said that who would be successful in Hollywood.
Yeah, like becoming a big star. He's becoming a big star. So Batista is a big star right now, and guaranteed, like after Guardians, he's probably gonna do like a Drax spinoff right after that because he is definitely a big star right now. So I will go to Terrence right now, and then I'll get back to you, Adam. You got to pick someone else, okay?
I didn't know we could pick part-timers. Like, I thought you could pick family roster almost like every day.
Okay. So Terrence, who do you think?
So other than Cena, Batista, or anyone else who hasn't been been to Hollywood before.
He can be someone that went to Hollywood, but not a big star. Like you can say Dolph Ziggler, that's fine, but it can be like
I was gonna go with Chris Jericho.
Okay.
I think with Chris Jericho, he's one of those guys, as you see in WWE, can play in like almost any role. He can be that serious guy, in a serious movie. He can also be a comedic guy as well. You can do a lot of cool things with Chris Jericho, because he can play as multiple characters. Let's say the stuff he did in 2008 with the serious stuff, or even the stuff that he's doing now the list and all that kind of stuff. Like, imagine him making a movie, like a cop movie or something like that with Chris Jericho. I think that would be pretty cool. Like, I think, like, with,
Okay,
West.
you're a Hollywood exec right now. What movie would you
Mhm.
put him in?
Um, what movie would I put him in? Like any.
It can be a movie that you just come up with. By the way, it doesn't have to be like a huge
Yeah, like.
franchise.
Yeah, I just came up with it like some sort of a cop movie, for example. I don't know what kind of name I would make it, but it would be like, something where he'll be a cop or something like that, like something more comedic, I suppose. Um, Imagine he brings any, someone would involve the list or something like that. Like, I'd probably put him something like that. You know.
Okay. Adam, did you come up with someone else?
Yes,
Okay.
Dean Ambrose.
Okay.
Dean Ambrose has already proven that he's extremely charismatic, not only in the ring, but also when he's being himself on Total Divas. And no, that's not exactly acting per se, but um, what's it called? I would definitely give him the chance to show that he has that charisma on the big screen.
Okay. You're a Hollywood exec right now. What movie would you put him in?
I would make him a young Logan in the next Wolverine movie.
Okay. That's good. Weston, why is Roman better than the other?
Well, Carrots didn't really name a superhero movie. He's just like, hey, Terrence did good in a cop. I mean, Chris Jericho did good in a cop movie.
You didn't
Uh,
have to say what type of movie. You
Yeah,
just say what. It
just
can be
no, but
anything.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
does it have to be a superhero movie, or is it just like movies in
No,
general?
just in general, you can make anything. You brought up superhero movies, right? That can be a one.
All right, all
It can
right.
be any.
The thing with Roman Reigns is the reason why he would be better than Terrence's is for the simple fact that I think Roman Reigns is a guy that kind of more or less has the look. Not only that, you could put Roman Reigns in the same movie, and he would thrive as like a funny, kind of like a macho guy, almost like Terry Crews. Not, what's his name? Yeah, Terry Crews. Or hell, even a freaking like almost like Arnold Schwarzenegger type of actor, where he's in all these types of tough movies and all that. So Roman Reigns is very versatile as far as movies go. He can play the comedy guy, the serious guy, and he can even do Dean Ambrose's part where he plays like almost like an X-Men type character. So I think Roman Reigns actually has more versatility than Dean and freaking Chris Jericho do. And let's not forget, Chris Jericho was almost limited because of his age in movies. Granted, there's stunt doubles, but I don't think he would be a bigger name as far as Roman Reigns is as far as like movies go. Because people, wrestling fans all around the world would be like, okay, Roman's in the movie, I'll check this out. And as for Dean Ambrose, he doesn't really have that much charisma as probably Adam would think. I mean, literally, he's almost boring as bricks. Yeah, granted, he could probably play that character well, the young Logan. But you look at a guy like Roman Reigns, who again can play an X-Men type of character pretty well, especially if it's like someone like what's this guy? Cyclops, I think it was the guy with the glasses. Or he can play fucking I think his name's the Beast. Like all you gotta do is basically dye his hair that color. Again, there's so much you can do with Roman Reigns, and he already looks the part for an actor. Chris Jericho, you can't really take seriously as an actor. Dean Ambrose, Can he fit in certain roles? Sure, but not as much as Roman Reigns could.
Okay. Adam, why is Dean Ambrose better than the others?
Dean Ambrose is young. Uh, he's can do more physical stuff. Um, as already mentioned, Chris Jericho, he's up there in age. So I mean, he can still do some stuff, but not nearly as much as a young Ambrose would be able to do on set. You know, if he was able to have to do stunts and stuff like that. And Jericho already has back problems. And plus, Jericho's really busy with his Fozzy tour. You know, I mean, I don't think he would want to be a movie star. You know, he's really busy with Fozzy, and he enjoys that. And who was the other pick? Who was Weston's
Oh,
Roman
Reigns.
pick? Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. I mean, yeah, he's hot right now, and he's really like popular among the young fans. But there are a lot of people who don't like Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose is not only extremely charismatic, but he's also very likable. And I feel like if you put Roman Reigns in movies, people would just be like, "Oh God, I'm not going to go see that. It's a Roman Reigns movie."
Oh.
Okay,
Hmm.
Terrence, your turn.
So why do I feel like my choice and Chris Jericho was saying that he would be more successful in Hollywood than Roman Reigns or Dean Ambrose. Um, like I'm not gonna dispute most of the guys' choices because I feel like with Reigns and Ambrose they can actually do well in certain kind of genres and movies. But the Weston did mention that people won't really take Chris Jericho seriously, and Adam did mention that Chris Jericho is too old and or he's not really committed to it. Like with those stuff that what Adam says, it's kind of irrelevant to the subject, and people not taking Chris Jericho seriously in Hollywood,
The fact
whether
that
it's in a
he was
in a
not irrelevant.
comedic and you talk about Weston talked about people not taking Chris Jericho seriously in Hollywood. Um, it's freaking Chris Jericho. Yeah. Obviously, like here's the
So,
thing.
so that's the same. So basically, that's the same argument as it's Undertaker and Sting. That's why.
No, see, those are for Joe. No, no. But if I
It's
were
the
for real
same
though, but I
argument.
do feel like Chris Jericho can play in, very uh versatile roles. He can be funny, which I feel like that could be something that he can excel in the most. But he can also be serious as well. Um, hence his stuff that he did like in 2008 and 2009 in WWE. Um, I think he can excel in that as well. There'll be some movies that he could probably excel more than others, but I feel like he can excel in almost any type of movie uh, uh, there possibly be, in my opinion. Like, heck, even if they were to do, let's say, like a movie about music, for example, like a rock and roll movie, for example, that could be something they could probably excel in too.
You
Just
didn't
as a
explain
thought.
though his wrestling career and his Fozzy things around his movies. Like, how would that work?
How would that work?
Yes, how would he manage his time to do movies when he's busy doing wrestling and a Fozzy tour?
Isn't that well, you can always find the time, I suppose. Like he's also writing a book too, right?
That's verbal diarrhea. He can always find the time. It's like, okay,
Yeah, he's
I
also
want to
look.
start a
He's also
podcast now called Verbal
bro.
Diarrhea.
Okay, but here's the thing. I could also make the same case. Actually, I wouldn't make the same case because if you're talking about Reigns and Ambrose, they're top stars in WWE currently, and they're working for the WWE. Like, how would they also have time working for Hollywood other than if WWE tells them to do so? You know,
okay, but you answer my question. Yeah, Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose are wrestlers, but they don't have as much stuff on their plate as Chris Jericho. And on top of that, during movies,
Exactly.
maybe more willing to let them do the movie because that's all they do. They'd be like, okay, that's good publicity for us. Go do it. But for Chris
yeah,
Jericho, no,
but here's the thing though. But your whole question doesn't have to do with anything. What this question that
I wasn't done. Hold on. Chris Jericho has been on a full time schedule like Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. Not only that, he has Fozzy to worry about, and he also has to worry about autograph signings with Fozzy and WWE, and all that other stuff. So how would he find the time to do movies?
But what does that have to do with him being successful in Hollywood?
Because he can't
What is
find the time to do them. And if he can't find the time to do them, then they don't exist.
that doesn't make a lot of sense. What does that have to do with him? What does that have to do with him being successful in Hollywood?
Because he can't find the time to do it. Do you not get it?
No.
It's as
You're talking
simple as
about
he can't find the time to do it. Yeah, granted, the movies can still be made, but they wouldn't be made with Chris Jericho because he doesn't have the time. He's too busy.
what? My God.
Oh my god. I got it. I thought it was pretty straightforward.
I
thought it
don't
was
get
clear as frosted
I,
glass.
I don't get
That,
it.
that's fine, and you can't explain, so you lose. Next.
No, but I'm dead serious though. I'm just saying, like, the whole question is about which superstar do you feel like, or what wrestler do you feel that would be would be successful in Hollywood? You know,
Right, and how can Chris Jericho be successful in Hollywood if he can't find the time to do movies? That's an important question, whether you want to acknowledge it or not.
I just said why he would actually be successful in Hollywood. I didn't. What is his time? What does his time have to actually do with this whole entire
Because he's
thing?
got WWE and
And
Fozzy
here's
doing
another
these
thing too. And plus here's another thing too. You know, not only he's doing other stuff as well, but he can also make. If he's interested in certain things, he would actually do it. Whether it's being in movies or in something like that.
again, you're not understanding my question. I don't know how.
Of course, I'm answering.
It's basically a simple question.
Basically, is what?
It's a simple question. All you gotta do is explain how he would manage his time to do movies between Fozzy and WWE.
Isn't that kind of well? If I were to answer your question, he would just make the time. Simple as that. He's making time for them. He's
Okay.
doing that right. Like, hey, here's bro,
Okay.
but he's doing that right now. Look, he has time to work in WWE because he's not really doing stuff for Fozzy, right? He's
Yeah,
making
but
time for
you're adding one
WWE.
more element. But you're adding one more element on top of that. It's
Yeah,
like layer cake.
it's
Spencer's
not,
to the
it's not
top
a hard
over.
thing to understand.
It's not my thing to understand,
It's not a hard thing to understand.
but what I'm saying is, what does that have to do with him being successful? I'm just
Okay,
saying that.
you don't get it. You're disqualified. Like Goldberg, who's next?
Oh my God.
Okay. What do you guys have anything else to say? Like, is there any other final statements?
Well, I
No.
didn't
I just
really
came up with a good name for my tag team.
uh, Adam's claim about Dean Ambrose. First off,
Okay, go ahead,
uh,
Weston.
Dean Ambrose is not as versatile as Roman Reigns when it comes to movies. Nor is he really that big of a draw as Roman Reigns. With people like is a big. Come on, he gets a reaction every time. People still pay tickets to go see him. And Dean, another thing about him is like Adam likes to claim that he's very charismatic, which is not the case. Dean doesn't really get that much of a reaction when he comes
He's
out.
not charismatic on Total Divas. Have you seen him on Total Divas? With his stuff with Renee Young?
By the way, that's another thing. Thank you for bringing that up. He also films Total Divas. How in the world would he manage to turn great movies too? You just bring up.
Yeah, he's not on Total Divas all the time.
And here's to answer your question. But here's this though, obviously Chris Jericho has a lot of things on his mind, and he's also you can still say he's a part-time guy. He has other projects to do too, but these two guys, Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, are still full-time WWE superstars. In order for them to go to Hollywood, they would either need Vince's blessing or they wouldn't be working for WWE. I'm just being honest here. That's the only.
First off, WWE can do anything as far as publicity goes. As long as it's good publicity, such as a movie, they would be all for it. Especially if it's a superhero movie or something that they know they'd probably bring some eyeballs.
Yeah, no. Nope. Sure, maybe that would probably work with the John Cena or any other top, like a part-time guy, sure. But
Some of the
no,
hint says he's. How's he not?
but
Featured every Monday. He's featured almost every pay-per-view. He's injured.
All right, final statement, guys. Weston, you got anything else to say?
Yeah. Well, not really. I kind of already, I think, put up a good argument with Adam and Terrence.
Okay. Adam, you got anything? Any final statements?
Yes,
Okay.
I just came up with a great name for my tag team.
What's that?
I just came up with a great name for my tag team.
Dude, are you fucking taking
Dude, stop harping on that. Give me a statement. Why is Dean Ambrose better than the others?
Adam is
As long
undead
as he
DC.
WMD.
Dude,
Is
you
that
really
it?
sound like someone drowning you as you talk. Like, are you being tortured?
Oh no, I was leaning against my pillow. All right, weapons of mass Canadians. No, weapons of mass bacons.
No, shut the fuck up. Ed, go ahead. Tell us who won.
All right. Let's see.
All right, Dean Ambrose is young. He's charismatic. He can do more stunts. He can do his own stunts. Yeah.
So can Roman
That's like-
Reigns. I mean, they are both wrestlers. I mean, hello. It's not really saying much.
So who won in this?
It's pretty tough. Jeez. Well, I know it's not Terrence. That's for sure.
Wow.
Like seriously. I thought that Weston and Adam really knocked you out with the
In
schedule
what way?
and
That makes no sense.
they
You
Yes,
talk.
it is.
No, it doesn't.
Here's the thing. Terrence. You could
That's
have
two
brought up.
different. But that's
Hold-
two
hold
different.
on,
But
hold
that's
on,
two
hold on.
different.
You could have defended Jericho by saying that he did indeed take time off before by going Dancing with the Stars, by doing his own web series, with doing his podcast that he still keeps on doing.
Yeah,
With the,
which makes the whole point. It says if he has interest in doing something that he wants to do, he will make time for it.
But
That's
you didn't give
basically
me-
what I said.
but the
Yes,
thing
I
is,
did.
you didn't give me
I
any
did, but
examples.
You
You
just
had
gave
to-
me my examples.
That's me giving you the examples. You should have given
So
me
you
the
answered your own.
examples.
So you answered my own
that's
question.
Ed giving you the examples and then you giving it back to him and going, yeah, exactly what you just said.
and not just that, but remember in 2005 he did indie movies while working for the WWE. So you could have brought all that out and said that, but you didn't. So that
The
knocked you out.
schedule thing has nothing to do with someone being successful in Hollywood or not.
Oh yes,
It
it is.
doesn't.
Yes, it is.
It doesn't.
Ask Punk. Isn't that the
Oh
reason
my
why
God.
Punk left?
Yeah. Punk was offered a lot of movie opportunities, but he didn't take them.
Yeah.
In WWE
Randy
Studios.
And Randy Orton,
In
he was supposed to be in 12
WWE
Randy,
rounds.
no.
Studios.
No, to be
WWE
fair,
Studios.
to be fair, it was
WWE
supposed to be.
Studio.
Ah! To be fair, it was it was supposed to be Punk, and then they went with Miz instead. But
Right.
Punk didn't actually turn it
12
down.
rounds two. What was it? 12 rounds two or something.
Yeah,
That's a
Punk didn't
WWE
actually
Studio
turn it
movie.
down. I know, but
It
Punk
wasn't
didn't-
just that. Okay, and Punk was supposed to be in the Ninja Turtles movie, but then they gave it to Sheamus.
Yeah.
So
Right.
That's the thing, it's opportunities like that do get squandered, and that's one of the things that you got to take into consideration if he's going to be a big star in Hollywood. And not just that, but you didn't talk about the age factor, and the fact
What does
that
age have to do with it? What does age have to do with it?
no, you could have defended. You could have defended the fact that Batista is at the same age as Jericho, even older, and he's a big star right now.
Didn't need to.
And The Rock is the biggest star in Hollywood right now, and he's at the same age as Jericho is right now. So you could have brought that out as well, but you didn't. So that knocked you out.
Wow. Okay, this is totally cheats, but whatever. I'll take
Okay,
it.
So
now
Dude,
it's
you get destroyed. Just face it. But anyway, go ahead, Ed.
Ugh,
so
whatever.
right now it's between Weston and Adam. Let's see. Adam. It's Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. Yeah, Roman Reigns. Weston did mention the fact that Roman Reigns is versatile, but Dean Ambrose isn't. But Weston did bring up the fact that Dean Ambrose is versatile indeed because of Total Divas. And the fact that he does get a big reaction from the crowd and how the fans are into him, and that can go a long way to ticket sales. But that at the same time, Adam did point out that Roman does get a reaction from the fans as well, and he is hot right now. So I'm really on the fences right now. I'm gonna go with Weston.
Yeah!
Well,
Yeah, you two-time debate champion.
Weston gets the point, but just barely, because he did point out the fact that Roman is much more versatile. And the thing is, Adam, you could have brought out the fact that Dean can be a main character because he was in 12 Rounds 3. Lockdown.
oh god, I didn't see 12 rounds 3. You know how many people saw 12 rounds 3? Like 3 people.
But still, like he was,
Was
he
it
can
straight to DVD?
it was experience. Roman has, he has no experience in Hollywood, but at least Dean has like that edge up over Roman. Like you could have brought that out as an example, but the fact that you didn't, I give it to Weston.
Wow, you're
Okay.
You know, the only people who went to go see 12 rounds 3 or purchase 12 rounds 3 is like Dean Ambrose's family. That's about it.
And
Isn't
I
it your
seen 12 rounds. I seen 12 rounds. It wasn't too bad.
Oh,
You're
shut up,
also
Darren.
proving a point that Dean wasn't that big of a draw towards that movie. So thank you.
Oh, shut
So
up.
yeah. So Weston wins.
Yeah, but you know what? You could have put Roman Reigns in that movie and it would have flopped.
Not really. Trust me, the movie was okay. I'm not gonna. Like,
I mean, maybe, but Dean was in that movie, and that's the bottom line to it.
Yeah, so you could have pointed that out. If Adam pointed that out, I think he would have gotten the edge up. He would have gotten that point.
Oh God! What the hell is 12 rounds 3?
I seen it. I'm not gonna lie. I seen it.
I saw it too. I thought it was actually really good. I would say it was the probably the best one of the 3. Probably. It's saying a little bit because I thought the John Cena one was actually pretty good. Okay. Final question. Adam, this is do or die for you. You gotta get this question. Okay.
Well, what's the point of the last question? Weston won.
Because he still has a chance in tying with you. This is the 5th question, the final question.
So am I involved or no?
You are involved. You can, if you get the point, then it's you and Terrence in the speed round. But if Adam gets this, then I get to add like a bonus question as a tiebreaker to see who goes to the speed round, who qualifies to.
You get another chance to get a point, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So
why not just make it me and Adam for this round, since Weston already advanced.
You can still make sure Adam doesn't get a point, so it's a good hill move.
Actually, you know what? If Weston gets this, then he wins the whole thing. We can skip the speed round because
You like the speed round
because the speed round consists of 3 points, and even if you do get those 3 points, Weston would still be like a point higher. So okay.
How about this, Roddy Bender? Let's leave this to Terrence versus Adam, and whichever one wins gets to face me in the speed round.
Well, if Adam gets the point right now, then I will do like a bonus question. So, and yeah, okay. 5th and final question: what wrestling storyline deserves to be a movie?
So is it just me? Is it just me and Adam, right?
It's all 3. It's all 3. All 3 of you guys. Yeah. Okay. So who wants to start? What wrestling storyline deserves to be a movie?
Terrence can start.
Alright, I'll go.
You'll go,
All right.
Terrence?
Yeah, I'll go.
All right, go ahead.
If I were to pick one storyline and to make that into a movie, um, I'd probably go with the Shield storyline, like going from their debut all the way to, the breakup and them winning the belts and stuff like. So basically, the whole 4 year storyline. Um, I think the reason why I went with that storyline was because with the storyline you had, three guys who, really made an impact in the WWE. As the new guys, right? Causing chaos and all that kind of stuff. This big, big group, who caused chaos and destruction and stuff like that all over the roster. And they were once that was done, you know, then later on, I think they turned babyface and they did that kind of stuff as well. And they beat, the big team in Evolution twice. And then, you had Rollins did the turn, which, was a big climactic moment with the Shield. And then you had Reigns, working his way up to the ranks and main event in WrestleMania only for the guy who screwed him over, who, broke up the Shield and stabbed him in the back to take his WrestleMania moment. So that adds another, a climactic moment there, another turning point to the story. And then, later on, they'd be feuding against each other. And then you have Dean Ambrose out of nowhere does the payback and cashing in the briefcase with Rollins. And then they all settle on one big triple threat match too, and the feud and stuff like that. So with this feud, if I were to convert that into a movie, it'll have like, there'll be, the movie will involve unity, friendship and stuff like that, and betrayal. And then you have the guy who basically betrayed you for the authority, screw you over in a big time moment. Just be a lot of cool storyline elements into the movie. And I think it would be a really, really great movie, especially if you were to make like Seth Rollins really, make him, this huge villain. Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose who are, struggling their way through the authority as well. So obviously the authority would be a part of this shit as well. I think this whole, especially with the Shield being obviously your three top stars in WWE today who isn't part-time guys, with them in the movie, I think it would be really cool. So I go with the Shield storyline.
All right.
You be back. Just give me like 2 minutes.
Okay. Adam, you got a storyline idea for a movie?
Yes, I do. Okay, you remember earlier last year, you had the storyline with the Wyatts, and the Wyatt family was what's it called? Brainwash Xavier Woods and take him away from take him away from New Day. What if you did a movie where you have like three religious people? Okay, you could say they're like evangelicals or I don't know, like some sort of Protestant, right? You don't even have to say, just like some church. You can just say like their church, and they wander out into the woods, and basically they come across like this sort of cult, and the Wyatt family would be basically like the cult, and one of the members, being Xavier, basically gets brainwashed, gets like kidnapped and brainwashed by this cult. And then the other two members, who are Big E and Kofi, and in the movie you can even maybe have them be related, like maybe you can even have them be brothers, are trying to rescue one of their either brothers or brethren from the church or whatever, from the clutches of this evil cult, right? That basically lives like out in the woods. And you can kind of start the movie off by saying
no one really knows what's out there. Very few people have gone out there and to this part of the woods and like have come back. And it would kind of be a little bit like Blair Witch Project, but the only big difference is once Xavier came back, he would basically be like still brainwashed, and he would be acting differently and everything like that, and he would basically still be like under the control of this cult, and maybe even try to have him kill like the other two members of of this family of Biggie and Kofi. And like so like they're trying to bring him back, and he's just like going completely psycho. Have him like spit up blood and stuff like that, or maybe like like bleed from the face or something like like something really like creepy. And the only way that they can break this spell that he's under is to go back and kill kill the cult members, which at the time would be
sleep.
What?
You're putting me to sleep.
What? Kill him in his sleep?
You're putting me to sleep. Anyway, yeah, continue.
Wait, what?
He said you're putting him to sleep.
Oh, well, I'm not done. Okay. You're done.
Oh man.
So basically, shut up. You're the champ. You have nothing to lose. So they go and basically they find the Wyatts out in this out in the woods, and I don't know, maybe have some sort of like artifact or something that they have to destroy, and they have to find it, but the Wyatts have traps set, and maybe they get trapped, and basically ends with this big fight between the Wyatt family and the New Day, and then they wind up basically destroying the artifact that's controlling Xavier and bringing him back to normal. The end of the film. The end. Roll credits.
Wake up, Weston.
Okay, I give that movie -5 stars.
All right, then you come up with something better. Jerk off.
See, the movie I would do is easily the Daniel Bryan Road to WrestleMania storyline. Talk about a roller coaster, first off. I mean, and you can already hear the freaking trailer for this movie. One man goes through it all just to get to the top. When most men get to the top, they gain everything. But with Daniel Bryan, he lost everything. But will he find happiness? We'll have to find out.
It's a romantic comedy?
Nah.
Dude, you really think a romantic comedy is better than my horror idea?
Let him.
Look, you have...
Let him. Adam.
you have...
Adam.
No, you don't let me finish.
Okay.
I'm not even done. So yeah, Daniel Bryan. I mean, this would make an amazing movie because Daniel Bryan literally worked his way from the bottom at NXT, and he loved pro wrestling. And he was put through the hell of wrestling in every match. Even losing at WrestleMania one time for about 16, 17 seconds. And, not like that, but then the authority turned against
Weston, can you speak up for a little bit?
hold on. Better?
Just
Nope.
speak up a little bit more.
So, again,
There you go.
Oh, too good.
he had to work for everything. Starting in NXT, and the Miz asked him, "This should be a point in the movie. Where's your personality? Where's your charisma? Answer your critics." And he goes through this almost like torture for these next few years, where he's wrestling in mid-card matches that are not really relevant. He loses to Sheamus at WrestleMania in like 16, 17 seconds. And then the authority turns against him. and he has to, he has to get his way to the top with the odds against him. And in order to do that, he gets the fans behind him. The fans start getting behind him because they believe in him. And they do, and that forces the authority to kind of give him a chance to shine. And also, it would be so dramatic at the especially in the middle because Tiffany's telling him you're a B-plus player, so is Triple H. Will never make it to the top, and he overcomes the odds, and he faces Triple H at Mania, and he wins. Then he goes on to face Batista Randy Orton at WrestleMania in the main event, and he wins that. And you would think it would be a happy ending, winning at WrestleMania, but then turn of events happen. His father ends up passing away. And not only that, he ends up happening to relinquish the world heavyweight titles due to injury, and he tries to find happiness again. He's like, man, I know I did it all, but why does this have to happen to me? Why? How come my biggest dream of them all had to turn into a living nightmare because my father passing away, and me being injured, and relinquishing the world titles. So then, you know, he marries Bree, which gets his life back on track. But not only that, he's offered a chance of a lifetime to come back as a GM and finds happiness back in wrestling there. And he's having a daughter now.
Awesome. Wow. Okay. You can fight it out now. Terrence, why is your storyline better than the others? Terrence.
That's how good the movie was, dude. He's already in shock.
Okay. Adam, well, why is your movie better than the others?
Okay, my movie is better than Weston's stupid movie because I actually took like a storyline that was in wrestling and
This
made
storyline
it.
wasn't wrestling. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, shut up, shut up.
You didn't
All
tell
right.
me to shut up.
What? No. Basically, what you did. No, shut up. Basically, what you did was you took. What?
Okay, so I mean, you're already buried. You don't even get a point. So yeah.
Uh, basically,
All
what
right,
you
Adam.
did, if you let me
Yeah.
finish, all right, was you took a wrestling storyline and basically made it a wrestling storyline. I took a wrestling storyline and made it a movie. I added
That's what I
like
did.
supernatural.
What are you listening to?
All right.
I added like
Let Adam finish. Let Adam finish. Go ahead.
yeah. I added like supernatural facts. I added like an actual movie storyline where yours was like Daniel Bryan goes to WrestleMania and then he wins at WrestleMania and he has to go against the odds, which is basically what already happened. Where I actually took like a wrestling storyline and made it more like a movie. Where I added like the artifact, which has to be destroyed, and them being out in the woods and stuff like that. Where yours was just a wrestling storyline.
Isn't that the question? What wrestling storyline can be made into a movie? He didn't say you have to add all this fucking magical shit to it.
Is that it, Adam? Adam. Hello.
No, but that's not. He didn't say that's what you had to do, but that's what I did because I'm fucking more creative than you.
Okay. Okay. Why is it better than the Shield breakup?
Um, it's better than the Shield breakup because, again, it's just you know still a wrestling storyline. Um, there's nothing movie like about it. Mine is better just because it's like a movie. And I had the whole what?
It's verbal diarrhea, and you know it.
That's your only line is verbal diarrhea. Like that's your go-to
I know,
line is
because
verbal
it's not
diarrhea.
diarrhea being fucked around between you two.
Well, you're just jealous because your movie sucks.
How am I jealous? I'm actually has points between me and
Uh, okay, okay.
Well, no. Well, if you were more creative,
Adam,
if you were more
that it?
creative,
Is that your
um,
final statement?
yeah. So basically, my final statement would be that those are things that happened in wrestling, and they're not bad ideas for wrestling storylines. But there's nothing big screen about them. Like my movie, I can actually picture on a big screen, in darkness with like a great soundtrack, with like great effects of like Xavier Woods like puking up like this black stuff and maybe like even have him like spider walk downstairs and stuff like that.
So in other words, you're talking about the New Day Bray Wyatt Ghostbusters edition.
No, 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 no. That's 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 fucking hilarious, but no.
Okay, Adam,
Okay, no.
finish your final
Okay,
statement, Adam.
all right. So to conclude, great special effects, great soundtrack. You would have parts in the movie that are like complete darkness. I would have a lot of jump scares, and it would feel like a movie where the other two jackasses basically came up with like wrestling storylines and that are on the big screen, where mine is actually more like a big screen movie.
Okay. Weston, what's
First,
your final statement? Go ahead.
first of all, mine would fit. Mine would be a perfect movie. Because can you imagine the? Can you imagine the scene, uh, where whoever plays Daniel Bryan, whoever plays Brie, can you imagine them filming a thing at his house where he's like, you know what, baby, I don't think I can ever make it, man. For some reason, I'm just not doing a good job. And I'm giving it my all, but I don't know. Can I handle it being in the big leagues? And then after he wins the WrestleMania title, there ends up being a scene where he's crying, by his dad's deathbed, and he's like, "Man, I'm glad I finally succeeded. I'm glad I finally accomplished my dream, but was it really worth it?" Just imagine him like crying, thinking like that in the hospital chair, and he's looking at his dad like, "Man, like I don't know why this is such a bad time for this to happen." And then can you imagine him, not even like a week later, him at the hospital himself, and the doctor comes to him, who's ever playing his doctor at the time, comes to him while he's in his hospital bed, saying, "You know what? I'm sorry to inform you, but you have to retire from wrestling, or at least in ring action." And Daniel Bryan.
But again, it's like a wrestling. It's still like a wrestling storyline in a movie. There's nothing movie.
You're not paying attention
Adam, let Weston finish. Let Weston finish. Go ahead, Weston.
the, to the filmatic details of this movie, where you can literally have him again, like I said, one of the scenes you literally have him filming him crying about his dad being in the deathbed in the hospital while rain's going down on the fucking hospital. Uh, you can also have it where the doctor tells him a few weeks later you have to relinquish your world titles because we don't think you can wrestle anymore, and then him being very upset about that and just wondering, God damn, was my success in wrestling really worth all this karma just happening to me for no reason? And then have it where he finally finds happiness again. He marries a local wife. The WWE calls him, says, you can, yeah, we want you to return on GM Dill, and he gets very happy because he's like, wow, I can finally still do what I love, without, getting in the ring. Yeah, like I won't get in the ring, but at least I can still be involved in the thing I love the most, which is wrestling. And also, you can end it. You can end the movie with Bree telling him, 'cause remember, Bree and Daniel were like, man, we're trying to have kids. So can you imagine the ending of the movie where Bree goes to him and says, Daniel, guess what? I'm pregnant, and he starts crying tears of joy, and he just hugs Bree. I mean, literally, the simple details to this movie would be amazing to me, or it could probably be just off the chain
Hello?
good.
Hello?
Yeah, Weston was just finishing up his final points.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go go ahead, Weston.
And again, so that I'll give a quick recap. Again, the beginning of the movie with the Miz or someone playing the Miz, telling him, "Where's your charisma?" and "Where's your personality? Answer your critics." And then him going in the midway in the movie, he kind of hits his downfall. Where he's wondering, if he should still continue wrestling because he's not really getting the push that he thinks he's worked so hard for. And then like towards the end of the movie, he does accomplish his dream, but then it comes at a cost with his dad dying and him have to retire from in-ring action. Like I said, the simple details like him crying next to his dad, like staring at him on his deathbed while it's raining on the window. And then also the harsh news when he said that he has to retire from in-ring action and give up the world titles. Can you imagine him and Brie hugging while he's in the hospital because he's just like, man, why? Why did this all happen to me? And then the ending where he finally finds his true love again in the form of being a GM. And not only that, he marries the love of his life. And you end the movie with Brie telling him, "Honey, guess what? I'm pregnant." And then he creates tears of joy because him and Brie
Here,
has been wanting a kid.
here's the recap. People walk out during the opening credits.
Okay.
No, I'd actually watch that movie.
See?
Shut up, Terrence.
Okay, Terrence, give me your final points. Why is the Shield movie better than the other movies?
I will say this: the choices that these men has made for these movies are actually pretty cool. But I think why I chose I think with the movie that with not the movie the storyline that I chose, you know, it does have a lot of it's one big roller coaster if you really think about it. Like Shield, one big word this dominant team, taking over the whole roster and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, you have one member of the team decides to turn their back on the team, only for the two other members to get revenge and stuff like that. Meanwhile, one of them is getting success and winning the
Social responsibility.
championship and stuff like that. And once he's about to reach that goal, the guy who screwed him over, I wouldn't say screw him over, the betrayed him and stuff like that, took that big moment away from him, and that adds another turning point into the story. And there's a lot of turning points that you can do in this movie. Heck, even with the movie that I chose, you kind of you could actually have to make it like a sequel or a trilogy with this kind of stuff too, in my opinion. But that's just me though. Heck, I could even and just to even though shouldn't really do this in a debate, but I would actually do that with Weston's movie too. I'm just saying that could be like a trilogy as well.
And you
Okay,
know what? I'm
why
actually
why is yours better though? Like, can can you maybe like poke at the others?
I just got to say real quick that I'm actually making myself cry just thinking about the movie that I said. It'd be fucking amazing.
You're making me cry too.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, I mean, so I would cry if I had your career too. I mean, you're the fucking Zack Ryder of this panel. Good luck.
Okay, Terrence, is that it? Is that like your
Yeah, that's just it. You know what I mean?
okay? Damn. Let's see.
Come on, it's not that hard. Ghostbusters, New Day, and Bray Wyatt edition. I mean, Wyatt Family edition.
It's not Ghostbusters. It's not
Here's
fucking. It's not
here's
fucking Ghostbusters. No, it's like Blair Witch. It's more like Blair Witch than Ghostbusters. But imagine like Blair Witch
If
movie doesn't
anything,
end. No. Listen.
if anything, if I were to say to poke on something, at least with my storyline and Weston's storyline, at least it didn't last for a month. I'm just saying.
Well, that's called a movie plot. I don't know if you've ever been to the movies before, but there are these
Trust
called
me,
plots.
if you were
in
to
a
have a
movie.
movie, if you were to have a movie with the Wyatt family trying to take over Xavier Woods or whatever, I'm not gonna lie, almost half the movie would just be filler.
No.
Okay,
Imagine if it was like directed by M. Night Shyamalan. Okay, imagine
It sounds like
what
a
a great job M. Night Shyamalan could do with this movie.
it seems like a direct-to-TV movie that would be like some goofy fucking shit on Disney Channel. He would appear there just
okay,
I,
okay,
I
okay,
can
okay.
barely
Guys,
hear you. I can barely
guys,
hear you, and that's the best
Yeah,
thing that's
Weston,
happened this whole podcast.
Weston, speak up a little bit. You sound like you're underwater.
Hey,
There you
how
go.
can you hear me now? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
perfect.
was telling him.
Unfortunately, now I can hear you better. Yes.
I was telling him that his movie sounds like something that would be made by Disney and go straight to DVD.
Yeah, about three brothers. Well, I love you, man. Yeah, but yours is a fucking road trip movie. It needs that fucking what's that song? Strawberry
we're gonna
Hill or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Wait, hang on. Actually, I can't play it because of damn copyright.
okay,
All right.
three black
Guys.
guys getting hypnotized by a hobo looking
okay,
guy.
okay. Guys, here's the thing. Here's the thing, okay? Adam really, I think Adam, you really got me when you were when you came up with the creativeness of your movie, and I really like the fact that you added extra stuff to the storyline, even though that it was short lived. You took everything that you could and exploited it to the fullest for the movie,
Mhm.
and I really like the idea of, okay, we're gonna take Xavier away and let him brainwash him and let him go against his brothers, and then it's one of those. I think it would be a fun movie to watch, and I'd definitely buy a ticket to see it.
Yeah, I won. Woo! Point for me. All right, moving on.
But it was the weakest of the three.
What? Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? You have a road trip movie, all right? You have a freaking road trip movie, and you.
Is this already there yet?
It's like, are we there yet? It should be called "Is it over yet?"
Here's the thing, Adam. Though, I think you had a shot. You really did. You could have knocked both guys out, because the way that you set it out, and you could have said, like, okay, this happened in real life, okay, and this wasn't really a storyline. So you could have, like, the Daniel Bryan thing was actually real life, and that wasn't a storyline. You could have said, like, okay, this is way too long. You can't fit it all in one movie. Okay. And the same thing you could have said about the Shield thing that spanned over like 4 years, and it's kind of still going on right now. So you could have knocked that out. You could have knocked that out and said, like, that's way too long. You could have even said that, hey, what's an easy cash grab? A horror movie, low budget. You could have easily gotten something out of it, but you didn't. So you're out of the running, buddy.
Oh God.
Okay.
So
basically, it's between the love story and the road trip movie.
Now here's the thing.
Mine's not a love story.
Yeah, the fucking.
It's called a roller coaster.
The fucking. No, his is a his.
And plus, here's the thing.
Yours, you know what people do? They throw up on roller coasters.
A road trip, really? Come on.
Now it's between it's between the betrayal, the story of betrayal and triumph, and it's also the real life story of Daniel Bryan, the Yes movement, if you will. So it came between those two, and Terrence, you had it. You really did. You could have really gotten through, but when you said that this movie can be split up, that's not really a movie. That's a trilogy. So
isn't a trilogy 3 movies?
It's 3 movies. It's 3 movies. It's not one movie. Okay.
You didn't. You
Uh,
didn't have to say. You didn't say a movie. You just said put it into. You know. You
I
didn't.
did
You
say a movie. What wrestling storyline
but you,
deserves to be a movie? I didn't say trilogy.
but you didn't say. But you didn't say it. Didn't. It shouldn't. You didn't. You know. Took that out of the question. You know. I just say it's so good that you can put it in 3 movies. You can put it in
Oh,
one if you wanted to. Ah,
okay.
see, I got you there.
And here's another
I got.
thing. And here's another thing. Okay. Here's the second thing. Okay. You said that you would definitely watch Weston's movie, and
Yeah.
so you kind of gave him that point. So
Yep. Yep. Basically. Yeah. I know.
yeah. So those two things really, swayed me over to Weston. So Weston gets the point, and still, Desire of Wrestling champion, DOW champion, Weston.
Wow. All I have to say is Pat Patterson and Steve Lombardi.
Yeah. Well, good match. Good match. I'm not gonna lie.
You did a good job. You worked a very good job today. You should be proud of yourself.
Who, me?
Adam. Adam,
me?
Well,
Thank you.
Adam should be proud of himself. He was a very good jobber today.
Did I do a good job for you? Did I put you over?
yeah, he pulled the Dolph Ziggler,
No,
man.
actually, if I was a jobber, I barely would have got any shit in. So I'm at least an upper mid carder.
Okay, so
No, I'm not here just to put you over.
this was Adam's first shot. So let's give him some some slack. It's his first shot. And hopefully, and by the coming episodes, I do believe that the competition will definitely be a lot more heated up.
At least I
and-
can name more members of the Nexus.
Okay.
Okay.
So. Okay.
Anyways, then just continue.
At least,
Okay, so Weston, now that you're champion, now that you're still the champion, now that you've retained your title, give us a speech.
Oh my God.
Well, first off,
Let him talk, guys. Okay.
I am a fighting champion. I fight for the people. The people like to see me. Granted, I went against a jobber today, but it's get the guy some credit. A round of applause if not. Now, Terrence, you're my tag team guy, but just like fucking Randy Orton and Edge, sometimes you got to go your own way when it comes to it. And today I gave you an RKO, my friend.
All right.
Don't worry, we're still the tag team, even though I destroyed you.
But who's in the Hall of Fame? Woo!
And I'm pretty sure the fans are happy that I'm champion. I'm a champion that they can be proud of. I have the look. I can draw. I'm entertaining. I'm charismatic. All I got to say to end this with, the champ is still here.
Awesome. Okay. In the next episode, I'm throwing my gauntlet down right now and saying that, Weston, I challenge you to next week for your title.
Oh, wow! Who's gonna be the judge? Me and Terrence?
Yeah, definitely. We'll let Terrence and yourself be the judges, and we'll see. We'll see who got it next week. You and me, Weston. We'll see who's got it.
Weston, you're gonna
Wow.
retain. You're gonna retain next week. You know what?
But
You know why?
No,
You know what? I'm gonna call it right down the middle.
you're
No, you're not.
because I'm the one that buried you. But it's
No,
okay.
no. Wait. So who should I? I can't decide who I should side with. Should I side with the guy who's
But you
calling
said
me a
you
jobber?
weren't gonna be
Or-
but you said
or
you
should
weren't
I
gonna be
call-
biased.
No, I'm saying, but if I was biased, I wouldn't even know who to decide for.
Good night,
because-
everybody.
Versus Ed at the next show. Terrence is the judge.
all right. Now, the next episode it's gonna be me and Weston, and we're gonna have judges next week. it's definitely going to be Terrence and Adam are going to be there, and we'll have let's have a great show next week. Let's blow the roof of this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! It's WrestleMania.
Red
I
light.
don't know.
Green light.
Oh, geez. None of that fucking gay shit. All right. Until
Pump it
then,
up, pump it up.
until then, rate, comment, favorite, and happily subscribe. And until then,
You just said
check.
rape, comment, and subscribe.
Of course, rape your neighbors if you can. Whatever.
Oh my
Oh
god.
boy. Well, YouTube was fun.
You'll go to
Anyways.
jail. So I said you don't, but if you think it'd be fun, go ahead. Why not?
Who cares? Anyways,
It's-
you only live once, right?
It is not rape if you're gay, and if it's not, I forgot. Never mind. Never
Oh
mind.
my
Never
God.
mind.
Just stop. Just stop. We're
check
behind.
us next time where we'll be talking about something else.